Hello, Mr. Leah. How's it going? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to rank all the Famicom games right now. I mean, all the ones that I've played. So let's see. I was at left off at number 22, Pac-Man. All right, let's see here. So Pac-Man, I gave a 6. It was a good game. Good. 6 for good. Let's see. Yeah, it was a good port of the arcade game. All 200? Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and rank all 200. But I guess it's kind of a pretty solid, good, not great game. So kind of right about exactly a 6, I think. Like 601 or something. Then next was 4 Nin Uchi Mahjong. I already put that one in here. Down here under, right above regular Mahjong, slightly. Then next was Xavius. Yeah, I wanted to at least make a top 10 and bottom 10, but I thought about it and I thought, oh, I may as well just rank all 200. I might, by the end of it, I might have a ranking of every Famicom game. I thought that might be cool to have. So Xavius I gave a 5. Wow. For decent game. Yeah, let's see. And like 5 seems about right. It's not a mediocre game. It's not really a good game either. Also pretty solidly a 5, I think. Is it more towards good or mediocre? It is really kind of in the middle. It should be like right about exactly 5, I think. Maybe just slightly below golf. Actually, I feel like it should be above the golf. So maybe 5.05 or something. Alright, the next one was Urban Champion. That I give it 2. Yeah, I don't like Urban Champion. Poor game. Let's see. What is it? I mean, it's like not that bad. It's not awful. It's maybe a little bit more towards underwhelming. Like towards a 3. Yeah, so maybe like a 2.3 for Urban Champion, because it's not like that bad. Yeah, like I could almost give the game a 3. I could almost give it a 3. But I think it's a little bit more towards a 2. So I think it's like maybe a 2.3-ish. Alright, next was Mappy. Mappy? I gave Mappy a 5. Yeah, Mappy was the first Mappy is definitely like a decent game. But it's very simple. It's fun enough. It's probably a little bit more towards a good game than it is a mediocre game. So like a 5.12 or 5.20 maybe. Just above Hogan's Alley, but below Wild Gunman. That seems about right. Alright. Next is Clue Clue Lands. I gave that a 6. Yeah, that is... I gave it a 6. I said it was a good game, but it is a little bit more towards... It's definitely not a great game. Definitely not a great game. Like, good. Even... it could be a 5. Honestly, it is kind of between a 5 and a 6. That's like kind of a 5.5 game. So... it should be... maybe around a 5.6. I mean, it's decently fun. 5.7 maybe. Alright, then Excite Bike. Gave Excite Bike a 5. Said it was a decent game. You know, that seems a little low. I thought decent. Maybe it should be a 6. Isn't 5 a little bit low for Excite Bike? I mean, Excite Bike is a quality game, especially compared to all these games. I don't know. That seems a little low. I think that seems a little low. I'm gonna raise that to a 6. But still, so I'm raising it to a 6, but still, it's like not super. So it should be like a 5.8 then. Is it better than Lode Runner? Maybe better than Lode Runner. 5. Level editor. It is a level editor, but I don't think the level editor is really all that fun. Like, I don't know. I feel like the level editor is kind of... I remember messing around with it. I just feel like it gets old quick because you can't really... There's not really all that much variety to levels in Excite Bike. I mean, that's why maybe I lean towards giving it a 5. Because I just find the game to be... Like, all the tracks kind of feel the same, basically. I mean, there's some interesting... You can put some, like, giant weird things in the tracks, I guess. But, I don't know, it's still... Yeah. I'm a little torn between a 5 and a 6. I definitely wouldn't go higher than 6 for Excite Bike. But I think it is leaning more towards 6, though. So, 5.8, 5.7. Is it below Clue Clue Lands? I think it is below Clue Clue Land. Actually, honestly, I think it is. Well, I don't know. It's tough. It's like right there. Maybe then that should mean it should be like about a 5.7. Yeah, that's probably what that should mean. So we'll put that there. I think that's fair enough. Alright, next is Balloon Fight, which is what this music is from. Balloon Fight. So we're now in number 29. Balloon Fight. Balloon Fight I gave a high score to, right? I think that was the highest score so far to this point. Yeah, it was a 7. You can almost go higher. Well, I mean, the game is... Yeah, definitely I would say it's definitely a great game. Is it an excellent game? It's a little... It is the highest score out of all these games so far. And it feels like deservedly so. But it's not like amazing or anything. It's just a really fun little arcade, slightly superior Joust. I agree. Slightly superior Joust. You just have like, it has a couple of different modes which are fun. It has 2 players mode as well. Can't forget that it has 2 players mode. So yeah, I think it's very solidly a great game. But is it an excellent game? Isn't it can't go that high, but it maybe should be a little bit higher than 7. Maybe 7.2 or something, 7.25, something like that. We'll go with that for right now. Seems about right. Okay, so Balloon Fight. Next we have Ice Climbers. Oh wait, this music is from Ice Climbers. Sorry, I misspoke before. This music is from Balloon Fight. Wait, actually, I don't even know now. I'm confused. Well, this is from Wrecking Crew. Oh, I think that music... No, that music was from Ice Climbers before. Anyway, speaking of Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers is next. Ice Climbers I don't like so much, but it's not, like, terrible. It's okay. It's just a... It's just a very... kind of a very mediocre platformer. It's worse than mediocre. It's just very... It's underwhelming, but it's kind of between mediocre and it's not poor, it's not bad. A little bit higher than a 3. 3 point, like, it could almost be a 4, honestly. It could almost be 4. It should be like, I guess it's kind of 3 point, maybe it even should be a 4 rather than a 3. I don't know. It's a very repetitive game. So, no, it shouldn't be a 4. It should be like a 3.4 or something. 3 point... Is it worse than baseball? I mean, I don't even know. Like, sports games, I don't even know how to think about those. But yeah, it feels like it should be a 3.4. Maybe 3.3. Yeah, maybe 3.3. For Ice Climbers. 3.33, all 3s. Smash uses Balloon Fight on Ice Climbers stage. Oh, does it? Oh, yeah. The music are almost interchangeable. Alright, so next is Exarion. Yeah, that was that one, like, kind of 3D-ish game. It wasn't, like, it sort of had a pseudo 3D background, and it was basically like a glorified Galaxion or something, but better, probably more fun than Galaxion, but not by a lot. You just went through different planets, they changed color. There's not much to it. I gave it a 3. Underwhelming game. Is it poor? I think it's well made enough to like not be poor, but it's like it's definitely not. Is it mediocre? Doesn't quite rise to the level of mediocre. Well, it kind of. I guess it's a little bit more towards mediocre than poor. So like maybe a 3.1 or 3.2. 3.1 maybe. Below Donkey Kong 3. Yeah, below Donkey Kong 3, I think. I think so. So 3.1 for Exarion. Alright. Number 32 was Galaga. Or Galaga. Or Galaga. Is it Galaga or Galaga? Well, anyway, I gave that a 6. Good game. I mean, it's a game that people like. It's definitely a lot more fun than Galaxion. But it's a very simple game. I wouldn't go higher than 6. Definitely not a 7. Well, I could see some people giving it a 7, though. Galaga. Galaga. Because it's a classic. It's a classic, so I wouldn't give it a 5. I definitely wouldn't give it a 5. So I guess it's kind of between a 6 and a 7. Is it more towards a 6 or a 7? I guess it's a little bit... It's kind of in the middle there. This could take a while. It will take a while. It will take a while. 6.5. It is kind of a 6.5-ish game. I guess I am kind of in the 6 point... Like, maybe I don't like it quite as much as some people, so 6.35 or something. Because I definitely wouldn't give it a 7. It's not quite... I didn't enjoy it that much. 6.35, something like that. It's Space Invaders is all good and all, but the classic shmup for me is Galaga. Well, I definitely like it more than Space Invaders or Galaxian. I mean, it's one of the best of those types of early shooters. But even so, it's still, like, not something that, like, as far as how much I like it, I don't like it that much. It's still just very simple. A little too simple. But it's fun for a little while. Yeah, so next is Raid on Bungling Bay, 33. This will take a while. That's okay. Hopefully it won't take more than a few hours. Raid on Bungling Bay. And I gave that a 3. Underwhelming game. Yeah, that game is, it's not bad. It's definitely interesting, especially for the time. What the game is trying to do with the rising threat level. Like, it's almost a little bit like a... It's a little bit related to Xanic in that it's another game that has, like, where the enemies have a threat level, where they increase their response based on, well, it's all, or really it's more of like a difficulty. It's an early example of difficulty responding to how you're playing. Both Xanic and Raid and Bungling Bay does that. But that's kind of the only interesting thing about the game. Like, if the controls are not really that good, it's not really that fun. But I wouldn't give it less than a 3. Definitely not. I could, yeah, maybe. So it should be higher than a 3 then. It should be like a. Is it rise to the level of mediocre? It kind of, like, 3 is almost a little unfair, but almost. But yeah, so like a 3.4 maybe. I'm getting a lot of. I'm 3.4 seems to be a common feeling for some of these games. Well, all right, 3.42 maybe, 3.45. Below 10-yard fight? Sure. But that seems about right, though. We're in Bungling Bay. Formation Z. Formation Z was that really early... That was the first shooter where you could transform into a robot. The first one. That game was okay. It was not... It was... I gave that a 3. Underwhelming. Definitely millions of streams on Twitch, and I spend your time watching night spreadsheets. Whoa, autocorrect. Yeah. Hey, I'm not forcing you to watch, but I just thought I might as well stream this. Like, once in a while, I have some spreadsheet stuff, and it's like, why not stream it? If people want to watch, they can watch. I do have the songs going on. You could technically request a song, but since I have like 100 NES songs in there, you have to wait a long time. So I wouldn't. So really, you can't. But yeah. So I mean, you know, it could be interesting maybe to some people to talk about ranking things. So anyway, Formation Z. Of course, this would be hard if you don't know the game. Probably nobody remembers Formation Z, but I remember it. You know, it wasn't that bad or anything. It was just, you know, another one of these games that's very simple. Definitely more towards a 3 than a 4. Definitely. So maybe like a 3.1 or 3.2. Yeah. Maybe a 3.2 actually. A 3.21 or something like that. Seems about right. Yeah, underwhelming game, but not terrible. Okay, like a slight amount of fun. Formation Z is. Next, soccer. Sports games are games I hate to rate. You remember me walk down memory lane? That's true. Yeah, so soccer, yeah, it's just, you know, it's the basic NES, Nintendo-made sports black box game. Very basic, playable, but nothing really too special, especially, those are the kind of games that get quickly surpassed, very quickly, even within the same year, maybe. Soccer. Where's soccer? Can't find it. There it is. So I gave it a 4, mediocre. I do think it's, I mean, for me, it's more fun than the baseball or football games, so that seems right. Is it more fun than the Mahjong games? It's probably about the same. I definitely wouldn't give it a 5. And I definitely wouldn't give it a 3. So maybe it should be right around like a 4.01 or something. I don't want to think too hard about soccer. Let's give it a 4.01. 36 game is Space Invaders. Yeah, we did not like Space Invaders because that was a bad port. Space Invaders, really to get the good experience out of that game, you almost have to play the arcade game. But I remember like the classic arcade game where it has the the little label, the plastic overlay. But I remember noticing how even the Atari game seemed better made than the NES, just because it was mechanics wise, it was better. Like the sprites looked bigger. The sound effects were more pleasing. Yeah, the Atari game was distinctly better than the NES game. It's like the only game I could think of. So like that's at the bottom of the list. I gave it a 1. It deserves a 1. Yeah, it is. It's awful, but it's not that awful. Like it's not like you could. Maybe some pretty good sports games. Yeah. Well, ice hockey is a really good game, but that's not till a little bit later. Fewer Mahjong games than expected. Yeah, only 2 so far. There will be more, but only 2 so far, the first 200. So, surprising. So, yeah, I mean, I give it a 1. It's almost a little bit unfair. Like, it could be a 2. I don't think it could be higher than 2. That's pretty... But I gave it a 1 because I don't want to... playing the game is completely unfun. Well, it's not completely unfun. So I'm kind of torn between a 1 and a 2. So therefore, if we're going to give it a decimal score, it should be like around 1.5. In fact, maybe I should even raise it to 2. It's a really bad port, though. I mean, I'll give it a... I don't know. But the thing that is positive in the favor of Space Invaders is it's still like it's a classic game. It's simple. It's playable. There's nothing unplayable about it. Like the space in between the actual invaders is a little too wide. So it is, although it is playable, it's annoying to play because it's like it feels overly hard to hit the invaders. And there's nothing to it. Like there's one level and it repeats endlessly. There's almost no content. So the only good thing you can say about it is that it's playable. You don't know if it is literally half as good as Donkey Kong Math? What? Space Invaders? That's a good point. Well, I don't think it is. I don't think it's not. That's why it's not a 1. Well, you can't necessarily like do math that way, and that math doesn't necessarily mean anything. But even so, I still don't think it is a 1. It's not. 1 is too low. Like 1.5 is as low as I would go. Or 1.4 maybe. But maybe it should be like 1.6 or 1.7 or 1.8. In which case, maybe it should be a 2. But that's really... Yeah, I was probably a little too harsh on it giving a 1. Honestly, I probably should have... I'm agonizing a little because probably it shouldn't be a 1. It should probably be a 2. 1 is too low. See, because you want to give it... Because the reason I gave it a 1 is because it's worse than the Atari version. It is worse. But just because it's worse than the Atari version doesn't mean it's a 1, right? Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. Math is bad. Because Donkey Kong Jr. Math... The problem with that is it's... First of all, it's just a game that's literally only about just inputting solutions to math problems. That in itself is not the most exciting thing. You're just inputting solutions to math problems. But the way you do it, by climbing on the ropes using the Donkey Kong Jr. gameplay, just doesn't work. It just makes it tedious. It's not fun. You know, Donkey Kong Jr. is fun because you're playing through like levels. But just like climbing ropes to like get to the number you want to enter, that's a terrible idea. And I understand that they did that to try to like make it seem like there was gameplay, but that just didn't work. The Popeye English game worked because that was just a word game. And it wasn't tedious entering the letters. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is yeah. In fact, Donkey Kong Jr. Math could honestly be lower. But I mean, I find doing math is not... I like doing math problems, I guess, personally. That's the only reason why it doesn't... I could easily see someone giving it a lower score and it deserving it. and being like, yeah. Yeah, honestly, like Donkey Kong Jr. Math should probably be lower than 2.02. That's saying that it's solidly a poor game, but it is more towards awful. No, yeah, even that's too generous now that I think about it. Maybe like more like a 1.7. And Space Invaders should probably be above Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Honestly, now that I think about it. It probably should. It should probably be more like a 1.87 or something, you know? It's closer to being a 2, to being merely a poor game than an awful game. Yeah, that really makes more sense than what I had before. That really makes more sense. Edutainment put the mechanics in the way of education. Yep. And the education gets in the way of entertainment. Yep. That's true. Math Blaster's a superior math game. True. Yeah, so that does make... Okay, we'll go with that then. I do feel like that makes more sense. So, next would be Championship Load Runner, number 37. Championship Load Runner. Championship Load Runner. What did I give regular Load Runner? Regular Load Runner I gave a 6. Wait, let me check. So, regular Load Runner we gave like around a 6. Or, yeah, a little bit under a 6. Championship Load Runner, like where does it... How does that fit in? It's the same game, just with harder levels. It's basically an expansion pack with harder levels. Since it's just a little... I mean, really it's pretty much... It almost should get the exact same score. Hey Skittles, what up? I am rating games. Welcome to Spreadsheet Mania. We're to flip Google Docs, Tendo? I don't know. So is Championship Load Runner better or worse than Load Runner? Is it exactly the same score? I mean, it's less approachable. But, see, it's less approachable on the one hand, but for people who want harder stuff, it's maybe more interesting on the other. But maybe the less approachable weighs a little bit more strongly because you almost really need the original Load Runner to get anything. Unless you're just like, you come into the Load Runner concept being a genius at it, you almost need to play the first one. So, as an expansion pack, really, it has to rank a couple notches lower. Like, it almost has to, right? But not that much lower because it does have value. It has its own value by simply offering something for people. But I mean, how many people actually really want really super hard Load Runner puzzles? Maybe not that many. How about do I? I don't. I guess I don't really. So maybe it should be more like a 5.6. No. Shouldn't be that much lower really, but like a 5.6. In which case, maybe it shouldn't be here at all. Maybe it should be down here. Beneath Wild Gunman. Yeah, maybe. Alright. That's also true, Asian Waste. Alright, so Championship Load Runner. Moving on. Next is Antarctic Adventure, number 38. And Antarctic Adventure, I gave that game... That was the penguin racing game. Cute, but not much to it. First Konami game, I believe. I gave that game a 4, and that definitely seems about right. Mediocre. But it does have a charm, so it's a little bit more towards decent than it is underwhelming. There's nothing really bad about the game. Definitely, I think a 4 is a pretty... I could even go as high as a 5, but I think... So like, maybe a little bit more towards 4.2, 4.3, something like that. 4.25 for Antarctic Adventure. Above Nuts and Milk, yeah. Below Tennis, I guess below Tennis. Below Donkey Kong, for sure below Donkey Kong. Below Tennis, should it be below Tennis? I mean, I feel kind of the same way. Maybe above Tennis. Maybe above Tennis. But below Pinball, yeah, I guess. Yeah, there we go. That's what we'll put it at Antarctic Adventure. So, next is Yar Kung Fu. I gave that a 3. So Yara Kung Fu, I mean, it is a notable game because it's one of the earliest fighting games. And it's not like completely unfun or anything, but the mechanics are just so sloppy, like a lot of early fighting games, like Karate Champ. Although it's better than Karate Champ, it's better than Urban Champion. It's a little bit more fun than those games, but it's just the jump kicks. Like trying to execute a jump kick in that game is just so touchy. So it's not a super fun game. It's okay-ish. It deserves its 3. Is it rise to the level of mediocre? No. Is it a poor game? It's a pretty solid 3, honestly. Yara Kung Fu. I think it's a maybe, if anything, it's a little bit below a 3, maybe, rather than above, because of like how kind of not so fun it is to play. So like maybe a 2.8 or 2.9. 2.89. 2.89. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah. Alright, next, number 40 is Ninja-kun Majo no Boken. Ninja-kun Majo no Boken. Is that the second, or that's the first Ninja-kun game? So that game was, that game, I had sort of a surprising amount of fun with it, but I still didn't like it that much. It was okay, like once I started getting into it, it was kind of alright. It's still a very simple game. The mechanics are not great. They're pretty stiff. You can only jump in like, well, at least the jumping feels stiff. The levels are really repetitive. I don't know what that reference is to, Mr. Leo. So Ninja-kun, mediocre game. Like, could it be a 5? Decent game? No. But maybe a little bit more towards decent than, like, say, underwhelming. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it really is just like a really solid 4. Yeah, like I just want to give it, I definitely don't want to give it a 3 or a 5. 4 feels like the perfect number for Ninja-kun. So that being the case, maybe it should just be an exact 4. Oh, I put Mahjong, oh, this is out of order. But if we were to rank it against Mahjong, is it better or worse? I'm going to say better than Mahjong. I mean, it's pretty much the same. But if anything, maybe a little better. So how about we make... let's make... No, fuck. Oh, I'm trying to insert a row. Let's make Ninja-kun a 4.02. And is Mahjong better than soccer? They're pretty much the same, in my view. But maybe soccer should be... Let's have soccer be above Mahjong, I think. Whoops, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. Alright. Mahjong versus soccer, the eternal debate. Two so solidly mediocre games. Yeah, go with that. That's fine. So number 41 is Chalk and Pop. I believe Tam is a big fan of Chalk and Pop. But Chalk and Pop is a case where I think the arcade game is quite a bit better than the NES game, and it seems like it has better ports elsewhere. The NES port is, it doesn't seem like so good. The actual game itself is, even the best version is probably still only mediocre. I mean, the controls are really weird, which also makes it kind of interesting, but I'm not sure if it's like a fun kind of weird. So I gave the game a 3. Is it a poor game? No, it's too interesting to be a poor game. It's not a 2. Is it a mediocre game? I feel like 3 is like right about where it belongs. But maybe slightly above simply an underwhelming game. So 3.2-ish. Maybe 3.2-ish for Chalk and Pop. Or 3.18 maybe. not a big fan of that game. Next is number 42, Dig Dug. I gave that I believe I gave it a 5, right? Oh, I gave it a 6. Should Dig Dug be a 6? I mean, Dig Dug is I think it's pretty well made, minor little classic game. It's pretty fun. This is the concept, and it feels pretty good to play. It does get difficult quickly. So maybe, I mean, it was frustrating for me to play because I insisted on, like, beating it for some reason. But we can't account for that in the rating. Yeah, it does feel like it should be. It rises to the level of good. Dig Dug is a good game. I don't think it's a great game. Is it an okay? Is it merely an okay game? Dig Dug? No, it's a good game. So it should be a 6. But I want to say, all right, well, maybe a little bit under 6, because I'm slightly hesitating. So like maybe like a 5.9. Yeah. It feels about right to say like maybe 5.92. It feels about right to me. Number 43 was Flappy. Flappy was that really rough puzzle game where you kind of push the boulders around. This is another D-Bay Soft game. Oh no, yeah, D-Bay Soft. The first D-Bay Soft game, the people who made Layla. So Flappy is an okay puzzle game, kind of okay, but everything about it is really rough. The controls are like slightly stiff. The graphics look really primitive, like almost like an early computer game. The art is not good. The music, I kind of remember the music, would I give it a 4, being on the not so good side. So 4 seems about right for a game like Flappy. In fact, maybe it should be a little bit under a 4. So like a 3.8 for Flappy. Feels about right. Or 3.9, 3.8, 3.9. 3.85. Yeah. Definitely a game that you can't get too excited about. I mean, maybe you could get into it. It's hard to imagine somebody getting like really into Flappy. Like, oh man, Flappy! It's okay. You could play it for a little while. It's interesting, but man, I just can't imagine anyone being like, Flappy, yes! I can't see that. Hey, Nachos, put the money in the bag. Okay. Is this a stick up? Yeah. Yeah, so next is Flappy's out of the way. Wrecking Crew. I gave Wrecking Crew, what did I give Wrecking Crew? Like a 6, I think, or a 7? 6 or 7? This, let's see, without looking at my, I would guess it feels like a 6.5 game to me. And what did I give it? I think I gave it a 7, though. Oh, I gave it a 6, okay. But that is a game I'm definitely torn, like right away I'm torn between a 6 or a 7. Is it a good or a great game? Good or great? It almost feels like there's nothing really wrong with it. I think it's an interesting puzzle game. It definitely, if you're just looking at these games, these first 44, it's easily the best puzzle game so far, but the Flappy fan base is stronger. You know, the Flappers. The Flappers. I'd like to see the Flappers. They have a Facebook group? Is Wrecking Crew a great game? It just feels like something is holding it back from being a great game. Like it's cool, it's an interest. Like the premise at the same time is interesting, but yet it's a little bit overcomplicated, a little bit convoluted. I mean, basically you go around wrecking all the different things. You have to avoid the enemies. There's like bombs. Everything doesn't quite tie together perfectly. Like it ties together well enough, you know? So I think that is sort of keeping it from being a great game, but it's still a good game. I mean, it's well made. The music is very nice. The graphics are nice, charming. You know, some of the better to be on the Famicom so far. It's solidly a good game. Without it, like I have no problem giving it a 6. It's easily a 6, but a 7 seems too high. So therefore, this would be like somewhere between a 6 and a 7, but maybe more towards a 6, like a 6 point. Maybe 6.4, 6.3, 6.4. It's 6.4, I think. 6.4. Maybe 6.38. 6.36. Maybe 6.36. Right above Galaga. I guess we're gonna put Wrecking Crew right above a Galaga. You know what? Actually, should it be above Galaga? It is right around the exact same level for me in terms of fun. Maybe it's slightly below Galaga, actually. Let's raise that to a 6.36 and make Wrecking Crew 6.35. Very, very slightly above Galaga. Yeah. Wrecking Crew 98? No, I don't know what Wrecking Crew 98 is. Interesting. Super Famicom? Oh, so it's a Super Nintendo version of it. No. I mean, the cool thing about NES Remix is that it can teach you how to play a game like Wrecking Crew. Yeah, it's definitely not super intuitive, Wrecking Crew. Once you know how to play it, I think it could be some fun. But it is held back a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna stick it about there. Yeah. Actually, you know, actually, maybe even a little bit lower than this. Now that I think about it, maybe like a 6.28 or something. Let's go 6.28 for Wrecking Crew. Below 53 Stations of Tokaido. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Actually, I did have more fun with 53 Stations. Okay, so next is Spartan X, aka Kung Fu. It's not a sequel, it's a sequel, not a... Oh, interesting. Does it have, like, new mechanics and stuff? That's cool, I didn't know that existed. I'll have to check that out. Kung Fu. Kung Fu is... I think I gave that a 6 as well? That's a good game. That's a good game, yeah. Is that a great game? Not quite. No. Is it... merely an okay game? No, it's good. It's good. It's a solidly good game. I mean, it's especially for the time. But even for today, you can go back. It is simple, but it's like it's simple, but it's still maybe a little bit too simple. Like it has that same problem that a lot of early arcade games have. It's a little too simple, but yet it's slightly less simple. It has a little bit more. I mean, still, once you've beaten the 5 levels and you loop through them a couple times, it would get old. So, maybe like a 6. It's a little bit above. Yeah, it's not a great game, but it's like maybe like a 6.05 or something. Solidly a good game, I think. With just like a hint of greatness. Can we say that? A hint of greatness? Yeah, it seems. That feels right. 6.05. Clear sense of narrative. Yeah. Yeah. It does have a little bit more of a narrative. Alright, now we're into number 46, Hyper Olympic from Konami. Now I have Hyper Olympic and the other one, what is it, Hyper Sports? I think I had those both under track and field, right? So we're going to give those the same ranking. We'll just rank them as... Like, honestly, I guess, I mean, it's... Boy, it's tough, because I played them as track and field. if you try to think about them separately, it kind of diminishes both games. It's like, what do you give a game like that? I'm trying to think like what the different events were in Hyper Sports and Hyper Olympic. There's 2 different games. Hyper Sports, I think, had a little bit more interesting, like it had archery, and that was a little bit more interesting than some of the other. A lot of the stuff was just like running and triple jump, and it was just like button mashing. And I'm not a super big fan of it. Like altogether, I gave it a 3 for the whole package deal. I'm gonna go ahead and just rank it as track. I'm gonna list it as track and field, I think, since I have it listed that way in my sheet. That's fine. So track and field, yeah. Underwhelming game, yeah. But not really a bad game. So maybe a 3.2. 3.3, 3.2. It is just button mashing after all. .3, I think. Alright, that takes care of Hyper Olympic. Next is Star Force. True. Also, Super Mario Brothers came out in Japan later than Kung Fu. But I don't know. I don't know if Super Mario Brothers has less narrative feel than Kung Fu. Maybe it does. Right. So Star Force. What did I give Star Force? Like a 4, maybe? Trying to remember. Let's see. Star Force. I gave it a 4. Okay. Well, so mediocre game. Yeah. It's one of these really early shooters that does feel like something is missing. I mean, you could tell it's early. It's very simplistic. It's essentially just like it's kind of between. The thing about a game like Star Force is kind of between a game like Space Invaders or Galaxian, where it's just like enemies just kind of rushing down the screen, and you shoot them, and then the next wave comes, and the next wave. But really, it's kind of like that, but just with scrolling, basically. There's a couple. Is there anything in the background you can interact with? I don't remember. It's like half. So it's like it's a very simple game. It's also extremely hard. So I definitely wouldn't give it more than a 4. I feel like 4 is the max it could get. I wouldn't. It's a little bit below an okay game. Hogan's Alley, is that like Hogan's Heroes? Yes, it's just like Hogan's Heroes Nachos. Exactly. No, that's the shooting gallery game, which is okay. It basically glorifies. It's basically a pretty good, pretty well-made tech demo. Honestly, I think it's not an underwhelming. I think it's pretty solidly a 4. Pretty solidly a 4. Maybe a little bit above Ninja-kun. So I'm going to give it like a 4.05. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Feels about right. Next, elevator action. We're shooting unless Nazis. Elevator action, I think we also gave that a 4 or maybe a 5. I think a 4. Can't quite remember. Elevator action. I did give it a 4. But that's a game. Elevator action is that's a game where it's like kind of between a 4 and a 5. I sort of remember being conflicted with that one. It's definitely like 4 feels a little too low because it's. You almost want to say it is a decent game, but as a port, I guess as a port it's okay. It's a Micronix port. But as a Micronix port, it's actually a little bit better than most of their ports. Like, it doesn't feel... The choppiness isn't that noticeable. It's a little bit noticeable. Or maybe the original game was just a little bit choppy in and of itself. But, yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit unfair, but yet it is undeniably fun. Just the simple concept. Another thing, but it is also simple. It's not much to it. Like, there's 4 buildings, but they're pretty much the same buildings, but just with different color palettes and faster dudes. Do you not like elevator action? I mean, I like it okay. I like it okay. Like, I want to say it should be higher than 4. It feels like 4 is the bottom floor. It can't be lower than a 4. It's too good to be lower than a 4. Is it as high as a 5? No, I feel like something's holding it back. Something about just the gameplay. It feels fun, but at the same time, it's like a frustrating kind of fun. It's like the frustrating is embedded with the fun. Just because of like how unfair like the dudes can be. Although there's certain things you learn like jumping onto enemies' heads that do like kind of raise the level of fun of the game. Yeah, so I feel like it's it is like a 4.5 level game. It's better than these games. I think it is. Below Donkey Kong, yeah, that actually does feel about right. That does feel about right, like around a 4.5. So maybe like a 4.48 for elevator action. Every time you bang on the table, audio goes nuts. What are you talking about? I'm certainly not going to say it's not a good game. I mean, it's still only a 4. But like it's kind of okay. Elevator action is kind of okay. So next, field combat, 49. Field combat. It's almost a little bit. For some reason, it reminds me of Frontline. It's not nearly as amateurish as Frontline, but it's a little bit amateurish. I give it what, a 3. But it's not really like. It's a little bit like Frontline in that you have like a guy and you're moving up to like capture the enemy. But it's more like if Frontline was soccer, but better. Ear rape? You okay, Nachos? What, you don't like this song? How much you love elevators, that's true. Field combat. So, but like what's interesting about field combat is you could capture enemy guys and then summon them and then use them. So it's almost like a prototypical, not RTS game, but not strategy, but like you have your little army and you summon guys, and you can't really control them. You just kind of like throw them up there, and then they fight the enemy guys, and it's fun for a little while. And you go up and you try to capture their flag or whatever, and you just repeat the stages over and over. It's okay, you know. It should be like I gave it a 3, but it shouldn't be any lower than a 3. It could almost be a 4. That's a game that's kind of 3.5-ish. It's in the middle of 3 and 4. Maybe a 3.36 or something. Better than Ice Climber? Yeah. Worse than baseball? Maybe. So we're going to give field combat a 3.36. Right about there. I have a really nice microphone setup, but it should probably not be on the table as a... Yeah. Right. It probably shouldn't. You're right. I don't... That's probably a good point, Skittles. Should be careful to not bang on my table. Next game was Road Fighter. That was the Konami game. I think I gave that like a 6, maybe? Can't remember. Or a 5? Or it could have been a 4, 5, or a 6. I'm not sure. I gave it a 4. See, the thing about that game is it feels pretty fun to play. That's like the overhead racing game. It's like a Spy Hunter. It's like a more simplistic Spy Hunter. No weapons. You just race. It's overhead racing, and it actually moves really fast. It feels pretty good to play. But again, really simple. Hey, Sapphire Drew, what up? Very simple game. Very, very simplistic. So it really can't do much to hold your attention for long. But I don't know. 4 almost kind of feels too low. I feel like I should have given that game a 5. I think 4 was too low. I guess I gave it a 4 because the bad thing about the game is there's no music whatsoever, except for like the title screen, which is why it has a 2 for music. And that does hold it back a little bit. I mean, it does feel good. Is that why I gave it a 4? Otherwise, it would definitely be a 5. Yeah, maybe it should be a 4. On second thought, maybe it should be a 4. Okay, but it's between a 4 and a 5 though. It's closer to being a 5. It's an okay-ish game. Okay-ish. It's like not okay. It's okay-ish. You have to qualify it, right, Jen?
Yeah, sure.
Jen agrees. So 4 points. 4.4, 4.3, 4.4, 4.42 maybe. What are we doing today? Yeah, we're just, I'm making a ranking list of all the first 200 games that we've played.
I forgot to check in on my flight.
And then, oh, you should do that, Jen. So we're ranking all the first, we're ranking them in order. And, we're ranking them, we're ranking them from 1 to 200. And then, you know, at the end of that, we'll see what the top 10 and least fun 10 are. Yeah, complex accounting. That's right. So next, could feel, Jen, they said they could feel your apathy from across the screen.
Really? That's
impressive. That's very impressive. All right, so next was Warpman. I did not like Warpman too much. It's basically a very simplistic arcade game where you run around and shoot guys, kind of like Robotron, but less fun. It's very slow. It also has, they tried to throw in like kind of a Bomberman-ish side level, but the two don't really gel very well, and the Bomberman doesn't feel very fun. So I gave that a 3. In fact, I think I gave it a 2 at first, but then I raised the level, which...
I'm boarding C.
Oh. You'll still get on the plane probably, though. So, Warpman, although I raised it to 3, it's still kind of between a 2 and a 3 for me. Like a 2.8 feels like about where it should be. Below Yar Kung Fu. Yeah. Yeah, or right around that level. Maybe a little bit below. So I'm going to put that at a 2.8. And I feel pretty good about that score. That feels about right. 2.8 for Warpman. Definitely not a game I would really recommend to anyone. I mean, it's playable. There's nothing really wrong with Warpman. It's just boring. It's a boring game. Zippy Race. That was... I think... did I give that a 4 or a 3? I give it a 2. Wow, that's a low score. Well, Zippy Race... The reason I gave that such a low score is because it's no fun to play. But I really like the music, though. In fact, I almost want to... I give the music a 6. In fact, I kind of want to raise that score to a 7 for the music. Especially after hearing it again. No, there was a little bit of rice left over and I ate it. You'll have to make more. Sorry.
At least it's washed now.
I did wash it for you, the rice cooker. Oh, that's right. I'll give that to you tomorrow, Sapphire Drew. I'll give it to you tomorrow. I promise. An end of stream tradition. It's not every stream. That'll be part of the 200 game special, Sapphire Drew, for sure. Just remind me. That rice was for everyone? There was like one small Tupperware of rice left, Nachos. Oh, did you want some? I'm sorry. Just so you know, it was like multi-grain rice. Do you still want it? Okay, so be raised. Yeah, I'm gonna raise the score of the music to the 7, to a 7. But the only thing about that game that's good is the music. The gameplay is really bad. I never obeyed. I just eat it all. It's really bad, like, because the cars, like, they're so hard to get around, and it just feels like it's fast but yet slow at the same time. Like the way your car, the screen scrolls fast but your car moves slow. It's hard to avoid things. It's not fun at all. But it's... 2 is almost slightly a little bit low, so it should be higher than a 2. It should be like maybe like a 2.8, I think. Wait, no, that would make it a 3. I gave it a 2. I mean, do I want to raise it to a 3? Zippy Race? Maybe I do. No, I don't. Okay, how about a 2.4 then? 2.38 maybe? Under Galaxian? Maybe above Galaxian. Maybe above F1 Race. Yeah. .48. Crave sushi. Oh, sushi does sound good, Sapphire Drew. You're right. Alright, next. Number 53, Door. I believe I gave that a 4 or maybe a 5. I think a 5. I think I gave it a 4 at first. And raised it to a 5. Door. Yeah, I gave it... Okay, so it's got a 5. It's definitely... I do think it is a decent game. 5 means decent. Does it rise to the level of good? No, because the problem with Door, it's a cool concept. There's a couple problems. I mean, it's very charming in its presentation. The graphics and characters are cute. And the music is nice, although repetitive. But one, it's a perfectly okay puzzle game, I guess. But number one, it's very slow to move around your character, which is sort of part and parcel with what it needs to be. I mean, it sort of plays a lot like Burger Time. Really, it's all about luring the enemies in certain ways. So if it was too fast, it would be too hard to play. It almost needs to be slow, but it also makes it frustrating. So what I'm trying to say, in other words, is it's an okay game, but maybe it's a little bit under a 5. At first, I wanted to give it a 4. So maybe like a 4.7 or 4.6 for Door. Or 4.8. I'm going to give it a 4.8. So just a 4.8. $15 sushi deal for lunch. That's not bad. Not garbage sushi or on all you can eat. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Stealing other people's foods is a grave sin. Uh-oh. I have sinned. Super Arabian. Now that was, I believe that was our first 0, if I remember correctly. Super Arabian. That is a really, really bad game. It definitely rises below the level of what you would expect for something to be considered so terrible. Yeah, it's, now that I actually... Now wait a second. Let me look at my so I think that these I've already given specific decimals to these two because they were in the bottom. So I wonder if they're close to what I already gave them. Let's just see because there should be consistency here. So I gave Donkey Kong Jr. Math lower than what I gave it before, right? Is that even on here? It's not. Or is it? See, it should be on here. It should be on the worst list. Because actually, no. I guess this is only for 1s and 0s, so I guess it actually shouldn't be on here. What about, Space Invaders? I gave that a 1 initially. But I kind of raised the rating a little bit. So, then we'd have to take that off of here. It was already, like, higher for a 1 on the higher side. I'll just delete that then. Now, Super Arabian on here, that was on here already, because that was one of the worst games. I have that as a 0.37. Well, seems about right. I'll just keep that, I think. It really is that bad. 0.37. No redeeming qualities. Sakura Sushi in Schaumburg. Oh, in Schaumburg? Oh, you live in Chicago too, huh? But we live more towards like downtown, so there's a place called Kawa Sushi, which is pretty cheap and has pretty good quality that we go to. Super Arabian, yeah. Definitely, of all these games, it's the worst so far, for sure. Next game is Robot Block, aka Stack Up. That's a hard game to rate since we couldn't really play it properly. What did I end up giving it? Stack Up. Let's see. A 5. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to think about it too much because it's hard to really... I mean, I can imagine what it would be like. Probably playing with an actual Rob is not going to make you like it anymore. If anything, it probably just makes it more... Well, Stack Up in particular, there's really nothing to that except just to watch the Rob move the stuff up and down. But I mean, the Rob device itself, really, what points it gets is almost just for the coolness of having it more so than actually playing the game. So I don't think playing the game is really all that fun. In fact, probably it should be a 4. But everything, the presentation about the game, and it has a lot of charm. Like the robot itself is well designed. Everything about the game is cool except for the game itself. Fried rice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Zelda music is, of course, it's great. Everything about the game is cool except for the game itself, which is, if you actually sit down to play it, boring. You know, honestly, maybe Stack Up shouldn't even be a 5. Maybe it should be a 4, quite frankly. Maybe it should be a 4. I mean, I guess I was... Included in that 5 is just... You have to include Rob itself. The design of Rob and, like, how iconic that is. I guess that's what... Alright, I'll leave it at a 5. The game itself is not a 5, but if you include all the things surrounding it, I guess... We'll just leave it at like a straight 5, I suppose. All right, next. Frontline. Oh, the next game is Frontline, the worst game. Frontline. And that game we gave a 0. Now, the actual decibel rating that I gave that was something really low, like a 0.07. The lowest... That's gonna definitely be number 1. No surprise. The bottom, very bottom of our... That's gonna be the number 1 worst game. I mean, nobody's surprised by that, of course.
Your face is surprised by that.
You're right. I'm surprised. My face is surprised. Thanks for noticing, John. So, nothing really much to think about there. Frontline is terrible. Tower of Duraga, I actually gave that a really high score. Probably higher than I should have given it. I think I'd give it a 7. But I did have a lot of fun playing through it. Even though it's really not... If you just look at the game, it's really not... If you sit down... It's the kind of game where if you just sit down to play it blind, you probably won't enjoy it. You definitely won't enjoy it, that's for sure. But if you know about the game, you know all its history, and you sit down like with maybe like a guide and, you know, knowing what you're supposed to do, you could have some fun with it. I mean, 7 is probably... I mean, I personally... We're just rating how much fun I had. I had a pretty good amount of fun playing through it. But you know, honestly, probably 7 is too high though. Honestly, it's a little bit crazy to give it a 7. It shouldn't be higher than a 6. I'm gonna go ahead and just lower that to a 6. A Zelda Maker. You know, I mean, you do have... There are tools you can... an official one, I guess, would be nice, but of course there are tools that let you make Zelda levels if you really want to do that. Alright, so Tower of Druga, I'm going to change it to a 6 now. Let's see. But I think the game is cool. I mean, it's an interesting little... Like, every floor is its own puzzle. I mean, yeah, some of them are, like, impossible to figure out without a guide, but a lot of it is possible to figure out, and it's interesting. The combat is very simplistic kind of system where you like joust with the enemy, but it's not, once you get used to it, it's not too bad. It's almost it's an interesting kind of combination of like Pac-Man and an RPG. So I like it. So a little bit, but I do recognize that 7 is probably too. It should be a little bit, maybe a little over a 6. Maybe a little under a 6. Good game. Can we say it's a good game? I think it's a good game. Yeah, I don't know, like a 6.2 maybe. That's where I want to put it. Duraga's anime is decent. I haven't seen a Duraga anime. Yeah, we'll go with 6.2. So that was game number 57. 58 is Astro Robo Saga. I think I may have also given that like a 5. Yeah, I gave it a 5. Okay. So Astro Robo Saga. That's another game that like probably a lot of people don't like. It's one of those games where it's like Solar Jetman, where it's like all about manipulating your gravity. But it's the first game that I'm aware of that's like that. And I don't know, there's something about the game. It has a kind of charm that appeals to me. So I do think it's a decent game. But certainly it's frustrating until you learn how to play it. Is it below a 5 or above a 5? Does it approach at all being a good game? Or is it simply an okay game? I think it's pretty solidly an okay game. If anything, it's more towards the mediocre side. So really it'd have to be below a 5, wouldn't it? Yeah, like a 4.8 or something. I will put it just a little bit above Door. Or should it be below Donkey Kong? Probably should be below Elevator. It could be above the Elevator Action. That's fine. So maybe, in fact, actually, no. Maybe Donkey Kong should just be a little bit higher than where it is. Maybe it should be. It should be above Door, I think. It should be. It should be like a 4.82 or something. But Donkey Kong, I'm just going to raise that up a little bit. 4.8. See. We'll make that a 4.8. 5. Sure. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Okay. Your baseline score is 2, then you go from there. Games will get better, but early Famicom is a lot of garbage. I mean, okay, so I mean, a lot of the games are kind of getting between, like, if you look at just, this is the first, what, like 60 games right here? Notice how there's a lot of 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, and almost nothing above a 6. Notice that? Especially 3 through 6. Very common. So the baseline for me for early Famicom game Skittles seems to be about a 4.5. So I'm actually not that far off from you. You just a little... Is any NES game good enough for an Alf out of 10? Alf? Alf, the NES game, is good enough. Too bad it doesn't exist. Alright, so number 59 is Hanshogi. That was, well, I don't remember what I gave that game at all. That was the cute little shogi game where you play against a robot opponent. It was cute, obviously. Yeah, I gave it a 5. That seems about right. Seems about right. A 5. Wait, hold on, so let me check something. Hooven's Alley. Okay, I was worried that I might have deleted something by accident, but I don't think I did. But anyway, Hanshogi, yeah, it's cute. So it's probably a decent game if you like shogi. It's hard to tell without being able to play shogi. So we'll just give it a straight up 5, I think. And we're going to put it above Stack Up. Alpha out of 10. Now that's a good score. NES! Ha! I kill me! Alright, Robot Gyro. That's Gyromite. Gyromite is a better game than Stack Up, for sure. It stands up. You can actually... It's fun enough that you can... Well, I mean, the fact that you can play it by itself tells you why it's a better game. Still not a great game. Definitely not a great game. Is it a good game? I mean, again, it has all the things going for it that Stack Up does. Like, really nice music, good presentation, pretty okay art, pretty decent art. But it's got the Rob gimmick as well. But like the game itself, it's a very simplistic puzzle game. Like it's all right. It's decent. But all those other elements, I think, if it didn't have all that stuff as strongly, it would definitely be a 5 or maybe a 4. So yeah, I don't know. Gyromite, maybe like a 5.8, I think. A good game, but not super solidly a good game. Pretty much a good game. 5.8, maybe 5. Is it above Cuckoo Land? Yeah. I think it is. Above Excite Bike? Sure. Number 61 was Gamos. Gamos was, it's kind of like Exarion, but worse. It's another one of those 3D shooter games. It's like Exarion, but it's like harder to play because they really try to go all in on that 3D effect with the ships coming at you, but it makes them really hard to shoot. It's hard to see. Although the boss that appears at the end of every level is cool. But it's just not really a lot of fun to play at all. The music is really, really grating. I give the music a 1. So all that kind of combines to bring it down to a 2. Yeah, which I think is... I definitely would not raise that score. It should not be higher than a 2. It's a poor game, for sure. Maybe a little bit under a 2, like a 1 point. Because it's not... It's poor. In fact, it's edging down from poor to awful. But I don't think it's... The only thing that's really holding it up, the things that are holding it up from being awful are what? Like, the 3D effect is still, I mean, it's the first 3D game for the Famicom, like the first game that really actually is, like the 3D effect of Exarion doesn't look 3D at all. This at least looks 3D. It's the first game that you could say that about. And the boss sprite does look really cool, the way it warps in. So that alone is kind of, but a little bit under a 2. So yeah, I mean, definitely not a good game. Maybe like a 1.9. Better than Space Invaders? Yeah, maybe. It's right around there. Like, right around where Space Invaders is where Gamos should be, too. I'll put it, like, just a little, like a notch above. Put it, like, at 1.91, I think, for Gamos. Not a good game. Do not recommend. Number 62 was 10-Yard Fight. That's this football game. I gave this a 3. Now, this is a score that probably most people would give it a higher score, but personally, I just don't like football games. So, you know, whatever. We'll give it like a 3 point something. We'll put it like around where baseball is. 3.4, 3 point, yeah, maybe even a little bit more than baseball. Or maybe a little less, 3.3 something, because I just don't like football games, so fuck it. If anybody likes football, that's fine. You can put it higher on your list. I just, you know, don't care enough to, like, even think about it that much more. You know, that you could get, that's what could get that score. You can recruit someone to make a Zelda 1 ROM hack called Legend of Alf. Skittles would like that, I'm sure. Alright, so, Battle City is next. Number 63, Battle City. That game I gave a 7 to, so that's one of the best Famicom games so far. You know what? I really do think that was a great game. Now that, I feel no hesitation to say that that's a great game, because I think it's clearly the best multiplayer game so far. Yeah, better than Mario Brothers. Like, the base game itself is fun. Like, you play as a tank, there's power-ups. It's one of the first games to, like, have power-ups, too. Like, multiple interesting power-ups. It's like a one-screen arcade game, but there's, like, depth to it. Like, there's the patterns of the levels, like there's various like kinds of blocks, like solid blocks you can shoot through, blocks you can't, forests you can go under that obscure your vision, water that you can shoot over but can't move over, bridges, all kinds of things. It's solidly a great game. Is it an excellent game? A little bit too simple to be an excellent game, and it could use more music. That's the thing that's holding it back, but still, and multiplayer, it must be a lot of fun. So. Solid 7, I would say. Maybe, if anything, a little bit more towards a good game than an excellent game. So maybe, I don't know, 6.8, 6.9, maybe a 7, maybe just a 7. I kind of don't want to go below a 7, actually. Yeah, maybe I do. 6.9, maybe. It's right around there. 6.9, 7, 7.1. Okay, maybe 6.9 for Battle City. But certainly it's near the top of our list so far. Yeah, definitely a game I would recommend to people. Super Mario Brothers. The actual Super Mario Brothers, of course, is the next game. Now that, I think I give that a 9. Nothing needs to be said about Super Mario Brothers. Of course, everybody knows it's a classic. Obviously, it's heads and shoulders above every other game so far. That kind of goes without saying. So what exact score do we want to give it? What is this? This is from Gradius. Oh, I'm rating all the games. I'm rating every Famicom game you've played so far. Yeah, we're ranking it. We're ranking them all. We're gonna make a ranking list for the 200. It is an N7 hoodie I'm wearing. It is. It is. I'm wearing this because it's a hand-me-down from Jennifer. I don't actually like Mass Effect, so don't get too excited. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. So 9 means an amazing game. And I don't have any problem calling Super Mario Brothers an amazing... Sorry, Legionary Shark. I don't have any problem calling it an amazing game. I still love you anyway, Legionary Shark. I tried Mass Effect 2. I don't think it's a bad game, it's just not really for me. I think I gave it a 5, as long as we're talking about rankings. It's a nice solid 5 of a game. Decent. Yeah, so Super Mario Brothers, I kind of want to go below a 9 a little bit because it's amazing. It's kind of between it's almost more an excellent. Yeah, it is still a lot of fun to go back and play. It holds up extremely well. But wait, oh, this should be on my top list. Let's see what I rated on. I'm gonna guess that it's probably a little bit under a 9. Let's see, Super Mario Brothers. Where did we put it on here? Maybe it's over a 9. Super Mario Brothers. Nope. I must be over a 9 then. Super Mario Brothers. What did I give it a 9.12. So even a little bit over a phenomenal game. Towards a masterpiece. I mean, really, it doesn't make sense to go that high for a game like Super Mario Brothers. It makes sense. So it's fine. We'll stick with that then. Although I almost want to go a tiny bit lower. Why is it not alphabetically arranged? What? Well, because, okay, so this is ordered. If you want to see them alphabetically, you can. I have a list for all the NES games I've played here, just under 8-bit. Most of these are listed alphabetically. These are just the lists of all the games I've played, and they're listed alphabetically and by system. So here's NES and TurboGrafx. This is Genesis and Super Nintendo. This is PS1 and N64, I think, etc., etc. These are all alphabetical. At the end here, these are listed by ranking numbers. So this list is for like the top games and bottom games I've played of all of them. And the list I'm making right now is a ranking of every Famicom game I've played. Yeah, so yeah. Right, so yeah, okay. I don't know. I almost want to go a tiny bit lower for Super Mario Brothers. I don't know. We'll leave it that high, I think. Give it a couple of extra points for like its iconic status, right? That's fair. All right, so next, Puyon. Game number 65 was Puyon. So Puyon, I gave it 6. Puyon is definitely a good, solid arcade game. I wouldn't call it a great game. I definitely wouldn't call it a great game, but it's better than just okay. Although, yeah. It's pretty solidly a good game. Honestly, it's like right around a 6. Right around a 6 is where it should be. Maybe slightly higher, but not much. We put it higher than Pac-Man? Maybe. Maybe just a 6 for Puyon. Yeah, maybe just a pure 6 for Puyon. That's the one we'll give the pure 6 to. I don't know. Actually, maybe a 6.03. I don't know. Is that maybe I'm putting it a little too high? Am I putting it? Maybe it should be like a 5.9-ish kind of game. I mean, it is fun and all, but it's not quite as playable as Pac-Man, right? or even Dig Dug. It might be. It is kind of. It's actually right. It's more around Dig Dug level than Pac-Man level, I think. So maybe around there for Puyon. I'm okay with that. Maybe number 66 was City Connection. City Connection, I think I gave either a 5 or I think a 5, maybe a 6, maybe a 6. Let's see. City Connection 5. Okay, so it's definitely City Connection is that's the game where you just it's a simple arcade driving game where you paint the road. I think Genocider FFZ emote should be a sideways blur, kind of like a xenomorph and alien, both accurate and scary. It's a funny idea, Skittles. You bought a clean box of Tetris, Time Lord, and Mylan Secret Castle. Hey, that's not bad, Gus Nation, especially Mylan Secret Castle. Wouldn't mind owning that. I mean, Tetris, of course, as well. Time Lord. Time Lord's an interesting game. I don't know if it's good. City Connection, yeah, decent game. Maybe, decent, but a little bit hard to control, a little stiff, so maybe a little bit below a 5 for City Connection, so like a 4.9. It's fun enough. 4.8. 4.7. Should it be under Door? Nah, it should be above all these, except for maybe between Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Maybe. I don't want to give it a 5.9. Next is Mock Rider. No, wait. Oh, I skipped some. Sorry. After City Connection should be number 67, Hypersports. We did Hypersports already. Yeah, we just included that with Konami Track and Field. So next should be Route 16 Turbo. Route 16 Turbo was a bit of a hidden gem. What did I give that, a 7? I give it a 6. Definitely a pretty cool game though. Like I almost want to give it a 7. How many games am I in? We're gonna rank the first 200, and we are 68 in, so we're about a third done. City Connection. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do all of them right now, but we might. Let's see. Route 16 Turbo. Fun game for sure. Not like an amazing game or anything. Not quite. A little bit short of coming up. It comes up a little bit short of great. Stack Up is higher than Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Do you think it should be? Where did I did put it. Oh, I did put it higher than that. Yeah. You're saying it should be or it is? But see, honestly, the thing. Are you saying that that's a mistake? Because I think the Stack Up is a worse game than these, except I'm including in this rating also Rob itself. Rob itself, like, Stack Up is Rob. And I think that the design of Rob is so iconic that you have to give it a couple extra points. So, Route 16 Turbo, what was I saying about Route 16 Turbo? I don't know, I want to give it a little higher than a 6, so let's see, around Wrecking Crew, somewhere around here. Maybe right, yeah, maybe, right around here, right underneath Wrecking Crew, that seems fine. No, under Wrecking Crew is what I meant. Oops. Okay. Number 69 is Challenger. Should probably label it as Stack Up plus Rob. Nah. I mean, I could do that, but I mean, there's a lot of, you know, when a game comes out with a peripheral, I don't think we have to like put the peripheral like in the title too every single time, because there's a lot of peripherals. Yeah, so Challenger. Yeah, Challenger is a game. I think I gave that a 7. I do. That game is a little bit odd because I find it to be very fun, but it is certainly awkward to play. I give it a 6. Yeah, it probably shouldn't be a 7. 7's a little too high for a Challenger. But I mean, I find it to be very and the music is really great. Challenger, and the variety is nice. Like as far as how it plays, it's playable. It's okay, but it has its awkward. Like it has its enemies that can be difficult to get away from, and some enemies you can kill, some you can't. The mechanics are a little bit weird. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe it should be a 7. Let me think about it for a second. Is it a great game? It's just full of interesting stuff. As kind of janky as it is. Thanks, Gus Nation. Try. I don't know. I almost want to give it like a 6.7, in which case it should be a 7. But that's like what it feels like it should be. Alright, I'm going to raise it back up to a 7, I think. But, although I'm raising it there, like the actual score, decimal-wise, I feel like it should be around a 6.7. So let's do that. Just feels about right. I do like the game a lot. You agree with most of it? Well, I mean, if you agree with most of it, that's pretty good, right? I mean, you could never agree with all of it. It's impossible. So number 70 is Mock Rider. Now, I believe I gave that a 3. That's a game I don't like so much. Although there's things about it that I appreciate. There's things about the game I appreciate. I don't hate it. But still, it's hard to say it's fun to play. So maybe it's like a little bit higher of a 3. 3.3 or... I already got so many of those, though. But that's kind of where it is at. 3.2... It's almost a 3.5. Maybe I should raise it to a 4, Mock Rider. Does it rise to the level of being mediocre? A mediocre game? Is Mock Rider good enough to be called mediocre? What do you think? It's just so hard to play, though. It's just so hard to play because stuff rushes at you so fast and there's no way to react. I mean, really the only way to play the game is to memorize every track. Now, that's not fun. But everything else about the game, like its presentation, I like. I wish I could rate it higher. I wish I could rate it higher, but I just can't, can I? So it probably should be underneath Ice Climber and Track and Field. It probably should be. Maybe over Donkey Kong 3, though. Yeah, so 3.28. I guess that's where it really has to be. Otherwise, it'd be too high. Mock Rider is a talent to play. It requires a lot of... I mean, I still appreciate what it's, some of the stuff it does, but I just don't think the game is that fun. Okay, Muscle. The next game, number 71, is Muscle. That's a game I don't like at all. Don't like that game at all. Hear about the weird DK3 rare variant? I did not. I've not heard about that, Gus Nation. Muscle. I gave Muscle a 2. I don't think that's bad enough to be on my worst rankings list of all. Yeah, it has to be at least a 1 to get on that, right? It's almost that bad, though. I mean, the thing about Muscle is like you can't give it too low of a score because it might be a slight amount of fun to play. In fact, I know for sure that some people enjoyed playing that with like their friends or whatever as a kid. The multiplayer gives it a little bit of value, but still. Mach Rider work better on a modern game design convention hardware? Probably. Mach Rider could use some more modern design in it. It just needs to be a better racing game. Muscle. Is it better than Gamos? Maybe. So I guess we're gonna say it's a poor game, but not awful. It's certainly not. Yeah, maybe it should be a little bit over a 2. So like a 2.2 or something, 2.1. Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't know. It's just so bad. Muscle is so bad though. It's just so primitive looking and it's not fun to play. Well, I guess you can kind of learn how to play it, but ugh, Muscle. It's gross. This is a gross game. I kind of want to give it like a 1.88. I think initially I wanted to give it a 1, but then I figured it should at least be a 2 because of multiplayer. But it's more towards a 1 than a 3. I think. I don't know. Okay, thanks, Jennifer. So the next game is Sky Destroyer, number 72. Sky Destroyer. Sky Destroyer, I gave a 4. Seems about right. Maybe it should be a little under a 4. That's that. I think it's the first of its kind of flying simulation, like Top Gun-ish kind of games. But it's not a lot of fun to play either. I mean, it's okay. It should be maybe, if anything, it should be under a 4, like a 3.9 or something like that. That seems about right. We'll give it a 3.9. Above Flappy, but below Mahjong. Sure. Maybe 3.92. Because it's not a ton of fun to play. I mean, it's you have to spend your whole time just like dodging missiles. I mean, you can try to shoot the missiles or shoot the ships, but it's hard to just hard to hit them, and you're better off just like flying in circles trying to avoid everything, which in practice makes the game not fun. Maybe there's a more fun way to play it, but I'm not crazy about the game. Number 73 is Ninja Jajimara-kun. Yeah, that was like, I think that might be the best Ninja-kun game so far. So that was Ninja-kun, but like more of a side-scrolling and with different levels you could jump in between. It had power-ups as well. Yeah, that game was okay. Did I give that like a 5 maybe, or a 6? I might have given it a 6. Did I go as high as 6 for Ninja-kun? Ninja Jajimara-kun? I give it a 5. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a little bit between a 5 and a 6. It's definitely a decent game. Maybe a 5.2. Is it? I don't know if it's better than Mappy though. So yeah, maybe light. But is it better than Hogan's Alley, Zevious, Golf, all these games? Yeah, I think so. Basically, so right around there. 5.2 for Ninja Jajimara-kun. It's about right. Alright, number 74 is Anyaka in Town. I believe I gave that a 2. No, I gave it a 1. Yeah, you know what? That game is awful. Oh, that should be in my all-time rankings as well, Anyaka Town. It should be in here somewhere. What did I give it? 1.37. So awful, but not approaching one of the worst games. Yeah, it seems about right. I mean, it's kind of playable. It does have a couple mechanics that are kind of interesting, sort of, with the being able to open the manholes as long as you're lined up with them, like horizontally or vertically, and then you could like set traps with them. I mean, it's a little bit interesting, but like in practice, the game is so badly programmed, and the music is so terrible, and it's really repetitive, and there's just not anything it's not a game that anybody would really want to play for any length of time. Yeah, so that's about right. Game number 75 is Patchycom. That's another game that's like one of the worst games we've played so far. Patchycom is just complete garbage. Patchycom is complete garbage. That should be really low on this list. Yeah, 0.21. So that's almost too high. Well, I guess it gets a couple of like The only thing keeping it from being a 0... So what... do you... I mean, it's playable, yeah. Pachikam is playable, too. I don't know if you remember what Pachikam is. That's the game that's essentially just... It's a pachinko game, but all you do is hold the buttons, and then the balls just go into the pachinko, and nothing... That's it. There's no gameplay. Like, it may as well just be a screensaver that you hold down the button to activate. But a bad screensaver, because it's just balls in a pachinko machine. I guess it resembles playing pachinko, but there's no stakes to it. Like, it doesn't really... You get points for it, but I don't think you can even run out of balls. Actually, I mean, it's pretty much impossible to run out of balls. So you just, like, hold the button down, you just watch your points slowly go up, and that's it. It's one of the most boring games I've ever played. But I guess it's better than Dark Castle, maybe. Oh, man, you know, it's... I guess it's better than Dark Castle. Oh, man, you know, it's tough. Is it better than Dark Castle? At least it resembles pachinko, I guess. I don't know. Has a couple of pachinko machines you can look at. I don't know, man. That is not an easy... Anyway, it's at the bottom of this list. Almost. And that's where it should be. Whoops. Oh, I forgot the thing. Alright, number 76 is Pac-Land. Pac-Land I give a 6 to. That... Oh no, that's Pac-Man. I was gonna say, that seems really high. Pac-Land I give it 3. Yeah, Pac-Land is not... I mean, it's one of the, like... It's based on the arcade game, which is one of the... Maybe the first platformer. It has really weird controls, like you use the A and B buttons to go left and right, and then I think up is jump, if I remember. So the controls are not great, but it's okay. Even if you get used to the controls, like the game itself is not super well designed. There's some really weird kind of bullshit jumps you have to do later on that don't make any... There's like a weird momentum system. It's really weird. It's just a weird game. Yeah, so, I don't know. Yeah, it should be right around a 3. 3 does feel like the right score. So, right around a 3. Maybe like a 3 point... Should be better... I think it is better than Exarion, though. Is it better than Shack and Pop? Wait, let me look at it. Is it better than Shack and Pop? It's right around Shack and Pop level. Better than Formation Z? I don't think so. Well, maybe right around there. Donkey Kong. It is kind of around... It's right around this level. In fact, it's probably better than Ice Climbers, quite honestly. Well, no. Maybe not. It is around this level. Field Combat, 10-yard fight, baseball. It feels like these games are mostly all better than Pac-Land, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. Right around this level, I guess. Right around here. Maybe, I don't know. Better than Ice Climber? That's a tough call. It's right around Ice Climber level. Maybe it's slightly better than Ice Climber. I'm going to give it a 3.34. Burger Time, number 77. Burger Time, I believe I gave that a 4 or a 5. No, I think I gave it a 4 because the Famicom port is a little bit... is not perfect. And the game itself is not... It's already not my favorite. But it's okay. It's one of those arcade games that's kind of okay. I mean, it's really hard to play. It definitely feels unfair at times. I mean, it's designed so that you're not going to get very far. It's slow. The Famicom port in particular, like sometimes it can be kind of hard to get up ladders. You can stick to them a little bit, and that can really fuck you over. So mediocre. A solidly mediocre game. Just solidly mediocre. Doesn't rise to the level of being decent. Maybe a little bit. Maybe it should be like a 4.2 or something. Is it better than Nuts and Milk? Maybe. Better than Tennis, Adventure. Nah, right around here seems right for burger time. $4.3. Yeah. All right. Number 78. Oh, where's Tam? Calling out to Tam. Number 78 is Iki. I believe I gave this... This is a game that many people hate, and I don't think it's too good. Even Tam admits it's not a good game. So I gave it a 3. I mean, I had a little... It's not really that bad. It's almost mediocre. It almost rises to the level of mediocre. Therefore, it should be like a 3 point... I almost want to give it like a 3 point... You know, honestly, I kind of want to give it a 4. Because maybe it is mediocre. I kind of want to give Iki a 4. I feel like 3 is too low. It feels like it should be like around a 3.7. Four would be mediocre. And I said it's almost mediocre. So then it should be like a 3.7 or 3.8, right? That's what it should be. Yeah, so around here then. 3 point... Better than Popeye? 3.75 maybe? But underneath Flappy, that's fine. Yeah. That's a good place for Iki. Okay. So we're going to raise that one to a 4 on the normal sheet. Number 79 is Portopia. I think I gave that a 6. Let's see. Portopia. Yep, 6. I mean, for the first menu-based adventure game for the Famicom, it's pretty good. As a detective mystery, like it's... I mean, I wouldn't say it's well written by, like, you know, the standards of, like, a TV show or anything, but, like, for a video game of this time especially, it is pretty well written. The game itself, it's got a little bit of that, like, you kind of have to, like, click everywhere. Actually, a lot of the things are pretty logical. More than you would expect. There's a couple things that are going to be really hard to figure out without a guide. Like, especially the, like, how you figure out the final thing you have to do to, like, figure out the real culprit, I think is pretty clever. So yeah, definitely a good game, a good... The only thing that's holding Portopia back, it could even be higher than a 6, but the fact that it has basically no music does hold it back, I think. So, I don't think it can go higher than a 6. But, yeah, it should be up here in the 6 range. Let's see. I wouldn't go too much higher than a 6, though. So, maybe right below Mario Brothers. .11 for Portopia. Alright, number 80 is Karateka. I believe I gave that a 2. Didn't like that one too much at all. Yeah, I gave it a 2. Definitely a poor game. It's not the worst game ever. It does at least have nice animation. And it has some, like, presentation stuff that's kind of cool. Like, of course, that stuff all comes from the PC game, but still. But the actual, like, gameplay is really bad. I mean, obviously, the combat system for Karateka in any of the versions of Karateka has never been good. It's always very, like, you just kind of spam the buttons, or you find a pattern that works against the AI. Really is what you do. But the NES version feels like it might even be worse because it has a tendency to spam lots and lots of guys, and you have to kind of, like, it's almost like fighting against the currents of a river. They just keep more and more and it's really tedious. It's not even that long of a game, but it's still tedious for what it is. And because the combat is so bad, and you have to just you do the same garbage over and over. You just keep doing the same moves because you know one trick that will exploit the AI, and you just do that over and over again until you finally, like, fight against the current of the constant stream of dudes. not a fun game. So it's verging on being an awful game, I guess I would have to say. Maybe below it too then. So maybe like around muscle level, Gamos. Right around Gamos level, honestly. Maybe below Gamos, actually. Maybe below Space Invaders, in fact. Yeah, I could, like around a 1.8. It's kind of pretty bad. Or 1.85, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Number 81 is Lunar Ball, aka Lunar Pool. Lunar Pool, that was a good game. In fact, I gave it a 7. I guess a great game? Yeah. Well, maybe a little under a 7. I don't think it should be quite a 7. But yeah, right around Battle City, that does make sense for the quality. So around a 6.9. Maybe it's a little tiny bit below that. But above Challenger. Yeah. So like a 6.8. Definitely a pretty fun pool. I mean, it's about as much fun as a pool game can be, I guess. I mean, personally, I don't find pool games to be fun. The fact that I'm rating this so high means it's got to be a pretty good game. I mean, it's got a lot of options, like gravity options and lots of different tables, weird tables. It's almost more like a puzzle game than a pool game. Definitely, I can't think of a better pool game that I've ever played. At least not a more fun one. Alright, so that's Lunar Pool. Number 82 is Star Luster. I believe I gave that game a 7 as well. Star Luster. That was a good game. Very good game. I would even say a great game. Yeah. I mean, it has to rise to the level of a great game to get a 7. Yeah, so Star Luster. That's another game that, like, although it does rise to the level of great, it's maybe just like a notch. Like it... Not super solid. Like for a game of its type, a Star Raiders type game, that's another type of game that like it's not really my kind of game. So it's hard to give it a high score. But I think for what it is, it's well made. Yeah, so I don't know. It feels like it should be like right around a 6.7 or maybe a 6.6 for Star Luster. 6.65. Below Challenger, yeah. Okay, so number 83 is Volgarde 2. Volgarde 2, I think I gave that. What did I give it? A 4? Yeah, I gave it a 4. Okay, so yeah, that was that shooter. It's kind of repetitive. It has an interesting health system. It gives you your health starts at 100%, and every hit takes off a certain percent. You actually have a ton of health, but it's hard to refill health, so the enemies kind of chip away at your health, and there's like a lot of bullets. The game is kind of repetitive. The music is really repetitive. Like, it's very short loops, but it changes frequently based on like what power-up you have, so it's kind of interesting. I kind of like the music, but it wasn't amazing. Star Luster, no, sorry, Volgarde 2. Maybe a little bit above a 4. It's a mediocre game. Like it's kind of okay. 4.2-ish, perhaps, for Volgarde 2. Below Burger Time. Yeah. Number 84 is Spelunker. I think I gave that a 7. I think. Because I just found that to be really fun. I mean, and a lot of people don't like Spelunker, but personally, I just find it to be really fun. Like, when I was having a lot of fun playing it the whole time. So, Spelunker. But it's not exactly a solid 7. It's another game that should probably be under the 7 rather than over it. It should probably be, like, around Battle City, Lunar Pool. It should be around here somewhere, I think. Right around Challenger. That makes kind of sense. Like 6.7, 6.75. Yeah. Number 85, Macross. Shojiku Yosai Macross. I gave that game a 2. I gave it a 2 because although it's at least playable, it's very repetitive. It's there's basically just one level that repeats with like a couple of new enemies, but it's very, very repetitive. It has one boss, which is a really lame boss. There's a space part and then a base part, and that's it. And both are really lame. And really, the best way to play the game is just to like hide in the bottom right corner of the screen so that nothing hits you, which is not fun. But even if you try to play the game like a normal shooter, it's still not. You want to like the game. I mean, I like the music at least. Yeah, the explosions in the background. It's just that is kind of cool. It's almost the thing about Macross is that is cool, but the game is almost just like it's almost more like a tech demo than a game. Like it's not a Macross. It's almost a stretch to call it a game. You know what I mean? Because there's like no structure to it. You just kind of fly in a background and shoot ships while there's explosions, and then you go into some kind of base and there's a thing you blow up, but it doesn't matter. Nothing matters because there's nothing to the game. You know. So yeah, I don't know. It should be a 2. It's a poor game. It's not the worst. It's not awful. So maybe like a 2. I think it's probably a little better than Gamemos, but not much. Maybe like a 2.1. Or a 2.2. Yeah. 2.2. Maybe 2. Yeah. We got like a 2.15. Game number 86 is 1942. Yeah, 1942 I gave... Oh, I think I actually put that in here already. Yeah. 2.6. Yeah, because 1942 is... It's got horrible music, of course. It's a playable game, but it's just so repetitive. There's the same ships over and over again, the same bosses. There is, I guess, the power. The one thing that makes it a little bit cooler is the power up is kind of cool. You get the extra ships with more bullets, and that feels pretty good. But it's badly programmed. It's slow. It's really repetitive. It's boring. It's just a boring game to play. So that's about right. It's more towards a 2 than it is a 3. Number 87 was Doughboy. I think we might have given that a 1 or a 2. Can't remember. 1 or a 2. I gave it a 1. Yeah, that seems fair. That is on the worst list. It should be on the worst list. Let's see. Doughboy. .87. Yeah, it's a really bad game, so that sounds about right. Galg, I don't remember what I gave Galg. Maybe a 3? I gave it a 3, okay. Yeah, Galg is pretty underwhelming. It wants to be like an RPG shooter, but in practice it's just farming the same boring, not so great, not so well designed levels over and over again for like the same parts. And it's super hard. Maybe, I don't know, right around a 3 seems right to me. Right around a 3 seems right. .06 or something. Number 89, Bakasuka Wars. I believe I gave that a 4. Yep. Interesting game. Hard to play. Definitely, I think it falls under the category of mediocre overall. Maybe leaning a bit more towards the bad than the good. But it is interesting once you know how to play it. Even when you know mediocre. But it's definitely interesting. Even if you know how to play it, though, it's still pretty hard to play and to get the things happen what you want. I mean, the game itself is essentially fighting against the controls to let you get your guys to go where you want them to go. So maybe a bit below a 4 for Boca Sticker Wars. Maybe like a 3 point. Yeah, it's right around the Flappy range or the EQ range. It makes sense to me. It's like a 3.7. 3.72. Looks like we're not going to have time to... This is taking longer than I thought. Well, I figured. So we're not going to have time to finish this today. Maybe I can do it... I can do the rest of it tomorrow morning or something. Anyway, well, let's keep going for what time we have left. No, wait a second. Oh, no. I still have an hour. Wait, never mind. Anyway, so next is Obake no Kyutaro, or Chubby Cherub. I think I have it under Chubby Cherub, and I think I gave it a 3. Yeah, 3 seems about right. Definitely definitely a not so good game. A not so good game. Not quite bad though, but leaning more in the direction of bad than in mediocre. More in the direction of, yeah, so like a 2.8-ish kind of game, I think. Right around here, right around Galg and Yair Kung Fu and Warpman. Probably better than 1942. Below Check and Pop. Below Check and Pop. Yeah, so right around here. Actually, maybe above Yair Kung Fu. Let's say like a 2.9. 2.92. No, 2.9. Number 91 is Thexter. I believe I gave that game a 5. Or it may have been a 4. I did give it a 4. I mean, the game Thexter is not at all a good game. Once I learned how to play it and got into it a little bit more, I was starting to enjoy it a little bit more. I can't say that I didn't have fun with it, but it's still really hard to play a game, and it's still repetitive and weird. So, mediocre game, yeah. It is between a 4 and a 5. It's almost okay. Yeah, I kind of want to give it like a... I don't know, maybe it should be a 5. Dexter. I have too many 4s. Mediocre. No, it's got to be a 4. 4 point. I guess like a 4.4 then. No, maybe a 4.3. Around here. Let's give it a 4.38. we're getting into Crontendo Episode 7, number 92, Binary Land. I think I gave Binary Land a 5, I'm guessing. I did give it a 5. Okay, that definitely seems right. Certainly a decent game. Interesting premise. Just executed kind of okay. I mean, it could be better. It could have better presentation and music. But it's certainly an okay game. It will get old fast. So maybe a little bit under 5, maybe. Like, maybe below Stack Up, below this, below Donkey Kong Country Jr., maybe. It's a little bit closer to being mediocre than it is to being good. So maybe like just a little bit. So maybe like a 4.92 or something. Right above City Connection. Bomberman. I have that as a 5 as well. That should be a little bit higher. Well, a 5... I mean, the first Bomberman is not the most fun game. The Bomberman is cool. It's certainly... It's a decent game for sure, but it's not as much fun as the later games. It does not have multiplayer. So, really can't go higher than a 5 for Bomberman, but maybe like a 5... It's closer to being good than it is mediocre. So, but not by much. So maybe like a 5.2-ish. 5 just below Mappy, maybe? Or maybe above Mappy. Maybe a 5.25. Yeah. Lot. I think I gave that a 4. Interesting concept. But I did give it a 5. I gave it a 5. Should it really be a 5? That's the lottery game where you like try to get the balls to go in the right holes. I mean, it's okay. It is okay to play for... It's different. It's definitely different. But it's also very bare bones. I don't know. I feel like that should maybe be a 4, to be honest, rather than a 5. I don't know. Maybe it should be a 5. No, I'm wavering. If I'm wavering, then it should be like a 4.5, probably. But I want to make it... I think it's closer to being a 4 than a 5. Decent game. Maybe 4.4. Now, you know what? Let's leave it at a 5, I think. It is just barely a decent game. I guess I could say it's okay. It should be like a 4.6. It's really close to being a 4, though. So 4.6 is right about where it should be. Okay, number 95, X'd X's. That game was a 2. Yeah, that's a really bad shoot. Maybe even worse than 1942. Well, in fact, I have it rated worse. I don't know. Should it really be worse than should it really be worse than 1942? I don't know if that makes sense. Because it's very similar. Why do I have XX's rated below 1942? They're both really... Well, 1942... Well, XX's... It feels worse programmed. Frontline is where it belongs. What? Frontline, what are you saying? X-axis is that bad? It should be a 0? What, X-axis? It feels a little bit worse programmed than 1942. It's a little bit maybe stiffer. It's very slow. It's slower than 1942. The music, well, the music is bad, but it's still better than 1942's music is the worst. I guess the graphical design is a little bit more interesting than 1942. The bosses are a little bit more interesting, but not much. I don't know. It's pretty much, I don't know, like, it just doesn't make sense the way those are rated. Like, should 1942 be lower? But 1942, one thing it does have that's definitely better than X-X's, the power-up system is the one thing that like makes 1942 a little bit of fun. Because the power system is genuinely like a cool idea, the additional ships and like the additional bullets. And X-X's has nothing like that. It has no good power-ups at all. It does have power-ups, but they just like make your bullets bigger and they're boring. Like everything else about X-X's is boring. So maybe that is right. I don't know. Well, X-Axes, what did I give 1942? 2.6. They're not really all that far apart, so maybe X-Axes should be a high 2. Like a 2 point. What do you think? A poor game. 2 point. 2 point. Yeah, I mean, like maybe it should be right around where Galaxian is. F1 race, it'd be race. That would kind of make sense for X-Axes. I don't know, I keep thinking that 1942 should be lower. You know what I keep thinking is that 1942 should just be lower. I feel like 3 is just too generous for 1942. I think I will drop that down to a 2. And this number here, 2.6, let's drop it down to like, say, a 2.4 maybe. Nah, I'm gonna no, I'll keep it at a 3. I'll change my mind again. I'll keep it at a 3. I'll keep it where it's at, I guess. It's just hard to say, but X-X's, maybe X-X's should be like a 2 point. I guess it should be like around a 2.4. So let's put it at like a 2.45. Yeah, it's fine. Not really all that different, but one is high enough to be rounded up to a 3, and the other is rounded high, not quite high enough, so it's rounded down to a 2. And that's basically, I think that's basically how I feel. Alright, so number 96, Penguin Coon Wars. I think I gave that a 5, maybe a 6. Probably a 5. No, it could have been a 6. I'm not sure. Penguin Coon Wars. I did give it a 6. But it's definitely between a 5 and a 6, though. It's not a great game. Definitely not a great game. So, between a 5 and a 6 for Penguin Coon Wars. Cute concept. It's definitely, it's got charm. It's fun, but at the same time, the actual mechanics of the game don't always feel that great. And if it's a 6, it's just barely a 6. So maybe it should be like a 5.6 then. Maybe like a 5.5-ish for Penguin Coon. 5.56 is what we'll give it. Okay. Number 97 is Twinbee. We're almost up to 100. Number 97 is Twinbee. Twinbee, I think I gave that a 6. Maybe a 5. I gave it a 6. 6 seems fair. It's a solid shooter. It's fun. Unfortunately, it doesn't have quite the... It's not as fleshed out as the later Twin Bee games. And after all, it really only has 3 levels, which repeat. The second set of 3 levels is just harder, with like a little bit harder bosses. And it has no ending or anything. So, yeah, maybe like a 5.8 for Twin Bee. Let's see, Gyromite, Loadrunner, Dig Dug, Puyon. I kind of feel like it should be above all these games. Pac-Man, Kung Fu. Yeah. Twin Bee. Yeah, maybe around 5.9. Is it better? Do I want to put it below Dig Dug? Maybe. Maybe I do. Yeah. Maybe right in between here, actually. Between Puyon and Dig Dug. 5.93. Oh, we should probably get the video as well. Okay. Number 98, Sun Sun. I believe I gave that a 4. Yep, a 4. That's definitely what it deserves. Another Micronix game. Like, it's an okay game. The arcade game is probably alright-ish. The port is a little bit worse. It's still sort of fun to play, a little bit, but it's very repetitive. So maybe a bit under. I don't know. Right underneath Mahjong, maybe? 3.95, something like that. 3.96. Seems about right. Number 99 is Legend of Zelda. Hey, another really, really good game. One that's probably on the top list. Yeah, that should be... I'm sure that was a 9. Legend of Zelda. Yep, it's a 9. Okay, so for Legend of Zelda, I've already given it an exact score. I think it's higher than 9.12. I think. Pretty sure I gave it higher than 9. Let's see. It would be on the list of top games. Let's see, Legend of Zelda. I gave it a 9.18. Okay. That seems about right. Maybe it should even be higher. I don't know. Nah, that seems about right. That seems about right. Okay. Best game so far out of all these. Yeah, I would put it above Super Mario Brothers, I think. I think I would. This loop is catchy. This is from Commando. This is from Capcom's early run and gun game, Commando. Right. Alright, so anyway. And finally, game 100, The Goonies. The first Goonies game, which is a pretty decent game. I gave it a 6. 6 is about right for Goonies. Definitely not a great game, but good. A little bit more towards great than like simply being okay. So like a 6.2 or something. The Goonies. Yeah, right around Route 16 Turbo level. Right around there. In fact, maybe a little higher. Right around here, I think. Yeah, just below 53 Stations of Tokaido. Sure, 6.3. Or 6.32. Alright, that's the first 100. We're halfway done. Halfway done. We're gonna have to speed up if we want to like get these next 100 done. I don't know, in time. Circus Charlie, 101. Circus Charlie, I think I gave probably like a 3. Circus Charlie. Yep, I gave it 3. Underwhelming game. semi-okay. Less than okay, below average game, but not quite bad, although approaching bad. But it's playable, it's got a little bit of charm. Maybe like a 2.9-ish kind of game. Between Chubby Cherub and Gulp, that seems about right. Maybe really just like a 3.01. No, yeah, maybe like a 2.98 for Circus Charlie, or 2.97. Gyrodyne, number 102. I don't think I liked that game too much. I think that was a 2. That was one of the helicopter shoot-'em-ups. That was the one where you could curve your bullets, I believe. That game did not feel good to play, and I think it had really poor music, and it just yeah, that was not a good shoot-'em-up. Is it really worse than it's really a lot worse than Gyromite. Is it worse than X-Axis even? That's the question. It's not awful. I have it as a 2, but it should maybe be a high 2. So where's X-Axis? I feel like it should be above X-Axis. I don't know. Really, it should be right. It's bad, though. You bought so many games, and your shelf can't fit them all. What do? Buy more shelves. Gus Nation, what you do is you buy more shelves. There you go. And if you don't have enough room for shelves, then buy more rooms. Yeah, is it worse than X-Axis? Maybe it is worse than X-Axis, Gyrodyne. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it should be like a 2.49. It could almost be a 3. Okay, you know what? Here. Let's do this. I'm gonna make Gyrodyne a 2.45. And let's lower X-Axis a little bit to like a 2.41 or something. Okay. More games and shelves. That's a problem. Hopefully they had a lot of boxes. So next is Hydlide. I believe I gave Hydlide a 5. Oh, I gave it a 4. Hydlide is not, despite what some people think, not a bad game. It's just very primitive, but it's a product of its time. But it's okay. It's not, mediocre. Is it an okay game? Yeah, it's like a 4.5 for me, kind of. I mean, obviously, the bummer about the game is how much grinding you have to do. You like Hydlide? Played away for ease. It's true. Yeah, I don't mind Hydlide either. I don't really mind it at all. Alright, you know what? I'm going to raise the score to a 5, I think. It's a low 5, but I think it is a 5. It should be like a 4.7. Nah, maybe it should be a 4.2. I mean, if I were to go back and play the game again, it wouldn't necessarily be... It's an okay game playing through the first time, but it is very grindy. Maybe it should be more like around here, like 4.22 or something. That sort of feels more right, actually. I mean, it's still not a bad game, but it is mediocre to play through today, certainly. Yeah, that would be too high. Okay, then we'll keep it at a 4. Alright, so next is Magmax. I think I gave that a 4 as well. I did. Magmax, yeah, another very mediocre shooter. Not bad, but not very exciting because it's just way too repetitive. Although the power system is cool, but definitely mediocre. And if anything, a little bit below a 4, like a 3.8 or 3.8, maybe 3.7, 3.6. Yeah, I think so. 3.63. How about that weird number? Sure. Because it's about a third of the way. Like, it's about a third of the way down, kind of, from a mediocre game to like a substandard kind of game. But it's not quite bad enough to be substandard. Well, anyway, so that's Magmax. 105 is Baltron. I think I gave that a 2. Baltron. That was a pretty bad game. Yeah, I gave that a 2. That might be worse than Max Texas. I think it is. Definitely a very solidly poor game. Couldn't go higher than a 2. Maybe a little higher. Yeah, maybe a little higher, actually. 2.2, maybe. Is it better than Macross? I think it is better than Macross. It's got a little bit, tiny bit more structure than Macross. So yeah, 2.2 then makes sense. Okay. 2.22. All 2s. Voltron. Alright, that's game number 105. 106 is Tag Team Pro Wrestling. I did not like that one at all, either. Okay, so, Tag Team Pro Wrestling. I think I give that a 2 as well. That game is just, like, just really hard to play and hard to understand how to play. It might even be worse than Muscle, quite frankly. I guess I gave it a worse score. It's terrible. It's a terrible game. Is it on my bottom ranking here? Guess it must be. Because I gave it a 1. Huh. I might have forgot to put it in here. But I do think it belongs. Yeah, 1 seems about right. What? Okay, so let's see. Where should it go? Awful. 1 means awful. It's an awful game. Yes. Is it complete garbage? Maybe not complete garbage. Does it work its way up to being poor? It's more towards being a poor game than being garbage. A little bit. Maybe like a 1.2, I would say. Is it worse than on Yonko Town? Boy. Maybe? Yeah, actually, yeah. I think it kind of is worse than on Yonko Town. It kind of is. I mean, I certainly have no desire to go back and play it. Maybe I'm being unfair. It's the type of game I might be being unfair to, because maybe I just don't understand how to play it. But I really don't see how... I think I do, though, and I just think it's just bad. Okay, so... And that would mean that this should go on my... I forgot to put this on here. It should be right around here on the worst list, right above Super Pitfall, which we're going to get to soon. Okay, next is Nazo no Murasame Joe, Mysterious Murasame Castle. Yeah, that was a really good game. I think I'd give that an 8. I think. That was a really good game. Another Nintendo-made game, of course. All the really good games so far have been by Nintendo, but Konami is going to start sneaking in there pretty soon. I did give it an 8. I think it deserves an 8. An excellent game? Yeah. It's maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's quite towards being like a fantastic, amazing game. It's got like a few small shortcomings. So I would say it's kind of a 7.8 maybe, or 7.7. 7.8 seems about right. A little bit of a hidden gem. Argus, I think I gave that a 3 or a 4? I don't remember. Maybe a 4, I'm gonna say. I gave it a 4. Another just mediocre shooter. It's got some cool stuff. You can transform into a robot, allegedly, although I couldn't figure out how to make it to work. Or I think I did it once by accident. Pretty mediocre. Not super bad. Maybe a little bit more towards a 3 than a 4, or than a 5. 3 point. I don't know. 0.8. Let's see. Is it worse than Sky Destroyer? I don't know. Flappy, Iki. It's kinda maybe a little higher than these. Maybe around Sun level for Argus. So like maybe a 3.95. Maybe. 109 is Atlantis No Nazo. Mystery of Atlantis. Another game that I like that other people don't. I gave it a 7. A 7 is a bit high, but I do find the game to be really fun and interesting to explore. I mean, obviously the platforming is really hard because the mechanics are so weird and stiff and like hard to grasp. But once you do grasp them, it's kind of fun. It's probably below a 7 rather than above it, so it's probably right here in the Battle City, Lunar Pool, Spelunker Range, Challenger. Yeah, it should go right around there. Maybe, in fact, like a 6.6. Seems about right to me. But you know what? Actually, we're gonna give it a 6.6. This game deserves the Mark of the Beast score. Perfect. 6.66, Mark of the Beast. The perfect game to have it. Atlantis No Nazo. Okay. 110 is Gegege no Kitaro. Hoping that Wicked Medulla places high. I guess I won't spoil it. But you might have remembered what score I gave it already. I think I gave this game a 4. This game was not so good, but it was kind of okay-ish. Kind of okay-ish. Gegege no Kitaro. Yeah, I gave it a 4. AKA Ninja Kid. Another game that's kind of repetitive. And not super... I mean, the mechanics are okay. Definitely a very mediocre game. Let's see what else is around a 4. Is it better or worse than Ninja-kun? It's probably better than Ninja-kun. Star Force... I think... Yeah, 4.2 seems about right for this game, Ninja Kid. Or maybe even a 4.3? Adventure. Dexter. Right around here seems about right to me. I'll give it a 4.34. 111 is Legend of Kage. I think I gave that game a 5, or maybe a 4. I think a 5. I gave it a 4. Another 4. Man, there's been so many 4s. So many 4s. It's crazy. You know, I actually think it should be a 5. I'm gonna raise that. But I think it should be a low 5. Like, it's more... It's like, it's a game that's... It's pretty decent. Like, it's almost decent. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this music... We were in this game for a while. Yeah, the music was great. The game itself was... It had some problems, but I like this music a lot. Legend of Kage, yeah. So I think like a 4.7 for Legend of Kage.
maybe a 4.74. Yeah. Dig Dug 2. I think I gave that game a 5 or a 6. Maybe a 5. I think I gave it a 6. Oh, I did give it a 6. You know, it should... That seems a little too good. Like, Dig Dug 2 is... I do think it's inferior to Dig Dug 1. But... It's still certainly a decent game. It's just that it doesn't quite work as well, the mechanics. But it's still... It's fun. I don't know. It's close, though. It should be like a high 5. High 5. High 5, bro. It should be like a 5.8 or something. Where's Dig Dug? Dig Dug is a 5.9. This should be like a 5 point, I don't know, 5.3 or something. Or 5.4. Maybe a 5.4 for Dig Dug 2. Number 113, Mighty Bomb Jack. That's a game I love a lot. That's probably at least an 8. It might be a 9. I gave it an 8. Okay. So yeah, definitely an excellent game. Definitely one of the better. That I think it's definitely an excellent game. Just a really, really good game. I mean, it's not quite a masterpiece. It's not quite amazing. Is it amazing? It's, you know, it's kind of between an 8 and a 9, in fact. It's like an 8.5, I think, for me. Because I almost want to go with a 9 for it. That's how much I like it. But I guess we'll keep it around 8.4. Let me just think about it for a second. Do I want to go as high as a 9 for Mighty Bomb Jack? No, I mean, it still does have like a... I mean, it's not the most approachable game if you don't know... There's a lot of things... The problem with it is that a lot of its mechanics that make it really fun are things that you can't know about unless you, like, look them up. So, maybe an 8.2 for Mighty Bomb Jack. I think that's probably pretty fair. Okay. Number 114, Gradius. That also is another game that's probably pretty high. I think that's a 7. Gradius. I'm guessing a 7. It could be a 7. Okay. Yeah, so Gradius. Great game. Yeah, a great game. Certainly compared to a lot of other games so far, it is pretty great. Pretty great. But I don't like it as much as the other Gradius games. So maybe like right around a... Slightly below a 7, I think. Like a 6.95. Is where I would put that. Okay. Number 115, Sansu 1-3 Nen Kaisen game. I think we gave that a 4. Maybe a 5. What did we give that? Here, I'll just go ahead and do both of these right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we gave both of them a 5. So for the first 3... You wouldn't say higher than a 6 or a 7 if you're thinking of the right game, which was Mighty Bomb Jack. Yeah, that's when we can jump really high and you collect bombs. And I mean, I just like the game a lot. I think I think it definitely, when you first start playing, it seems like a 6 or 7. But the more you learn about the game, I think the better it gets, personally. Yeah, so Sansu, these are for like educational games. These are surprisingly well done. They're pretty decent games. But where exactly do we want to put them? Below 5 or above 5? Maybe a little bit more towards the mediocre than the good side. So like maybe like a 4 points. Yeah, around here somewhere. 4.7 maybe. For Sansu 1-3, and then 4-6. I'm trying to think which one was better. I think this is the one 1-3 that had the penguin mini golfing game and the car game and some of the better ones. 4-6 had a couple that were, I don't remember too well. Like there was that one, the haunted house game. I'll guess I put that one a little bit below. So maybe like a 4.55 or something for that one. 4.58. Pretty close. The music was awesome. I wouldn't go as far as awesome, but surprisingly good. Yeah. In fact, I gave they should both be a 6 for music for sure. Okay, so Spy vs. Spy. What did I give Spy? I think I gave that a 4, maybe? I give it a 3. Okay. Yeah, Spy vs. Spy is not as much fun as you might want it to be. I guess it's a little bit... It should be like a high 3, probably. Or a medium 3. Let me think. It's probably a decent amount of fun playing with other people. Maybe. Even playing it multiplayer, though, like, it's running around hunting randomly for items is not exactly a lot of fun. So, I don't know, the 3.3 range, I think, would make sense for Spy vs. Spy. Below field combat, maybe right above that. Below 10-yard fight, above Pac-Land, sure. Right around here. Let's give it a 3.37. Okay, next is Saycross. What time is it? Okay, we have a half hour left. Saycross. I gave it a 5. That's another game that's kind of decent. It does have cool music. I don't know. It's very simple. It's very simplistic. The mechanics aren't super intuitive. Like, it's one of those games you have to read the instruction manual to like know what even a power up is. But it's okay. It's very repetitive too. But it's all right. I don't know. Maybe it should be like a 4.8 kind of game. Saycross. Yeah, or 4.9. City Connection. Yeah, right around City Connection does feel correct, actually. Maybe a notch above City Connection. And Binary Land is right around here. Actually, feels about right to me. Let's put Saycross right about there. Oops, fuck. Grab the whole thing. You'd love to give Spy vs. Spy high mark, but the NES version is kind of painful. Multiplayer is kind of broken because you would camp, and there wasn't much that could be done about it. Game Boy Color version was a lot better. I'm sure it was. That seems about right. So 118 is Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest. Now that is a good game. I think we gave that at least an 8. We probably gave it an 8, I think. What did we give Dragon? Or maybe a 9. We gave it an 8. Yeah, 8. It's like between an 8 and a 9, Dragon Quest. It's another very good game. It's very grindy. The only problem with it is that it's just extremely grindy. A little too grindy for its own good. If it were just a little bit less grindy, it would probably get an even higher score. But it's a really well-made game. The music and graphics are great. Of course, we're sort of ranking... It's a little bit unfair because we're ranking the US version Dragon Warrior, which is like a big upgrade over Dragon Quest. But still... Too short for a 9, a lot of filler, be grinding. I don't mind that it's short. Short would be okay. Actually, the idea of short RPGs I think is good. Like, I like the idea of short RPGs. Okay, I wish there were more. But it could use less it's just a little bit too grindy, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 point, but it's like, I don't know, like an 8.4 though. Or an 8.3, I don't know, 8.35, 8.4, something like that. Maybe 8.3. Okay, so that's our It's pretty high up in the rankings so far, but there will be more bigger number games later on. Here's one, Super Mario Bros. 2. It's another good game, 119. I think I gave that a 7. No, I probably gave it an 8 at least. Yeah, I gave it an 8, okay. I like Super Mario Bros. 2 a lot. The Japanese version. I do like it a lot. I mean, it's another game that's a lot like... It's a lot like, Lode Runner Championship Edition. It's just another expansion pack. So you almost have to give it a worse score than the original. But I almost kind of have more fun with it than the original because of its difficulty. Still, I think that the original is probably better designed. So... But, it should be a pretty... It should be a high-ish 8, though. I don't know, maybe it should still be a 9. I'll give it like a... Man, it's tough. I think it's a tough one. Second phase kicked your ass. Yep, that second phase is the real deal. It's a tough one to rate, I feel like. Super Mario Bros. 2 Japanese version. I feel like 8 is too low. If I give Super Mario Bros. 1 and 9, I don't know. 8 just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like there should be a 9 as well. And it does reflect how I do like the game a lot. So maybe like an 8 point. I'm going to change it to 9 on the main sheet, I think. And I think about, it should be right around an 8.8. Yeah. Hey Skittles, what up? Welcome to, oh, you were here earlier. Thanks for letting me know you're still here. Alright, so Bird Week. Bird Week I think I gave a 2 or a 3, maybe a 2. Probably a 2. Bird Week. Yeah, I gave it a 2. Certainly not a good game. Pretty poor game. Not the worst, but I mean, when it comes down to it, it's kind of an okay, sort of arcade-ish, or it would be okay if the controls weren't so... You just have to fight with them. And the music is not really great. So, kind of a poor game. Is it worse than Macross? Actually, I don't think it's worse than Macross. Is it worse than Baltron? Right around Baltron level, probably. Or Urban Champion. Yeah. So, 2.3. Maybe right around here. It's like 2.32 or something. Okay, that's 120. We got 80 games to go. B-Wings. I think I gave that not a great score. B-Wings. Probably I might have given that a 3. Yeah, I gave it a 3. Okay, B-Wings. Definitely underwhelming. Yeah, kind of around where Formation Z would be. Maybe slightly higher. Like, right around here, the 3.3 range, I think. Which we have a lot of, but we need more. So, B-Wings, maybe even a 3.4, actually. Around here. Yeah. I mean, it's not... It does have some cool things about it. There's so many, there's a ton of 3s and 4s. So many 3s and 4s. I think 4 is the most common score so far. Oh yeah, there was a Dragon Quest anime, I saw a little bit of that. That seemed kind of fun. Right, so Star Soldier. I think I like this game, I might have given it a 7. Or maybe just a 6. 6 or 7, I think. Star Soldier. I gave it a 5. Oh, really? lower than I remember giving it. Well, maybe that's about right. I kind of feel like it should be a 6. It's a pretty decent, fun shooter. It is repetitive, like a lot of them. But I think the mechanics are pretty cool. The weird thing about it is that, well, it's cool that you can fly underneath obstacles, but it's weird how you control that. It seems really hard to control, which is strange. It feels like there should be a button for it. Well, I'll give it a high 5, I think. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it should be a low 5. Like a 5.3 or something for Star Soldier. I mean, certainly it is a decent game. At least you can say it's a decent game. It's almost a good game. 123, Ghosts and Goblins. I believe I gave that a 7. Ghosts and Goblins, maybe a 6. 6 and 7, 6 or 7 for Ghosts and Goblins. Probably a 7. Because I enjoy the game. It's pretty enjoyable, I think. Yeah, 7. 7 seems right for Ghosts and Goblins. It's a pretty fun game. It's still a Micronix game. The Micronix, the mechanics are not. It's a little bit janky, but compared to most other Micronix games, it's not too janky. It's not too Micronix. Like, if you compare this to all their other games, you almost might not know it was Micronix. It's actually kind of decently programmed. It's okay, the programming. It feels alright to play. Certainly, it's a fun game. I like the difficulty of the game. I mean, there's lots of things about it that don't make sense, but... It's kind of on the spectrum between good and great is kind of where it falls, more than great to excellent, I guess. No, it's pretty close to being a 7, I think. Maybe, in fact, I think it's. I don't want it to be low. I don't want it to be lower than 7. So like maybe like a low 7, like 7-11 or something. Yeah. Okay. Ghosts and Goblins. 124 is Super Chinese. I'm gonna have, you know what? I actually really should be getting going really soon. So we're gonna have to stop in a second. Super Chinese. That game I gave a low score. I think that's a 3. Where's Super Chinese? Oh, that's under Kung Fu Heroes, I think. That's the American name of it. Kung Fu Heroes. Yeah. I should put a little parentheses here. Super Chinese. Yeah, that's a 3. Definitely an underwhelming game for me. Not a big fan of it. It's not quite bad. I wouldn't go as far as to call it bad, but it's not so good. Right around where Galg is, about right for Super Chinese. Let's just give it like a 3.01. I don't know, 3. Maybe above Galg. Maybe it's above Galg. Maybe it's above Exarion too. Actually, yeah, it's right around there. So 3.12, I think. Okay. Next is Skloon. 125, Skloon. I gave it a 4. That seems about right. It's definitely on the mediocre side. But it's okay. Maybe a little bit above a 4, like a 4.12 or something like that. Or 4.20. 124. Yeah, around here. Volgard 2, it is around that level. In fact, maybe a little higher than Volgard 2. Maybe. It's right around that level though. 4.28. Let's go with that for school. Okay, it's 418. Well, let's just do a couple more. Gumshoe, 126. Gumshoe I gave a 5. Yeah, definitely very weird game, but interesting. I think ultimately pretty decent game. I mean, it's probably pretty hard to play. Maybe slightly below. I don't know. Yeah, it should be right around a 5, I think. Right around Hogan's Alley. Maybe slightly below Hogan's Alley. You know what? Let's put it... No, above. Actually above Hogan's Alley. Actually. Um, 127 is Choplifter. I didn't like that game at all. That should be like a 2, I think. I give it a 2. Yep, I give it a 2. Yeah, that is a poor game. That's a port of a computer game. Didn't really go over too well. Like a really bland Cobra Command. Also really hard to play. Just doesn't feel very good. Like it's just hard to control your chopper. The enemies are unfair. You pretty much have to memorize what to do. So a solidly poor game, I'd say. Probably worse than Macross. Is it better than Gamos? Maybe better than Gamos, but worse than Macross. Yeah, I think maybe like a 2.05. 128 is 53 Stations in Tokaido, a game I like a lot. I only gave it a 6 though. Well, it's a good game. It's a little bit hard to call it a great game, I guess. But I want to give it a higher 6 though. It's close to being a 7. Let's see, Galaga, Duck Hunt, Devil World. Yeah, it's definitely kind of in this range, around here. That's where it should go. In fact, I don't know. It should be above Endless No Nazo, maybe? Maybe it should be up here. Maybe it actually really should be a 7. Maybe it should be a 7. You know what? It is a great... I'm going to call it a great game. It sounds weird to say that. It's a great game. I guess that's just how I feel about it. I'm going to give it a 7. Because it should be like above all of these games, kind of. It should be right around where Spelunker is, I think. Yeah, 6.8 level. Maybe even higher than Lunar Pool. It's got to be right around here. I guess I do like it that much. Babel no To. Tower of Babel, 129. That game seemed okay. I think I give it a 5. I give it a 6. Babel no To. So that game was it was okay. It almost should be a 5. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting little puzzle game. This is not too exciting. A little bit weird to understand. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that game should be a 5, actually, rather than a 6. Oops. Well, maybe it could be a 6, but just a low 6. Like 5.5 5.7 or something. 5.8, 5.7. Right above Clue Clue Land. Okay, that seems alright. What do we have left? 130 is volleyball. I think did I give that a 5? I might have given it like a 4 or 5. I give it a 4. Cute game, but not really a ton of fun because it's just really hard. And it feels too hard to like to actually hit the ball. So I'm not crazy about volleyball. Let's see. Definitely should be under tennis for sure. Maybe under mahjong and soccer. Probably should be under those as well. 10-yard fight. Around 10-yard fight in baseball. Maybe a little bit higher than these. So somewhere in here. Let's put it right above this, actually. 3.6. No, that's too low. 3. It should be more like 3.8. A couple more. Ganbare Goemon. That game leaves a bad taste in my mouth because of how the endings work and how long I played it to try to get like one of the end. But it's still, you have to say it's a pretty good game. Whoops. It's a pretty good game. I give it a 6. Maybe it should be a little. Definitely not a great game. Definitely not a great game, so maybe a little bit under a 6, like a 5.8 or something. Yeah, but yeah, right about here seems right for Goemon. Then Solomon's Key. I believe that game is an 8. Could be a 9. Probably an 8 though. Yep, an 8. Okay. It's another rare high-ranking one. Let's see. Do we think it's better than Mighty Bomb Jack, Solomon's Key? I don't think I do. I think I prefer Mighty Bomb Jack. Yeah. Not exactly. It should be right around an 8 exactly. Quite honestly, I think that's a good place for it. Namida no Sokoban Special, 133. That game was a 4. Yeah, that game's pretty mediocre. It's okay. I mean, it's Sokoban. It's fine. But it's not. I mean, so it probably would be a 5 if it were. But the mechanics of it and presentation is not super great. So kind of lowering it to a 4. It probably should be. It could be. I mean, really anywhere around here, like a 4.2 or something. Let's put it right here. Maybe that's a little bit low, actually. Maybe it should be more like up here.
Hey, Brian, where did
Yep.
you put my iPod charger that was in the bathroom?
Nowhere.
Well, it's not in the bathroom anymore.
I didn't move it. I didn't. Let me touch it. Alright, Valkyrie no Boken. That game I liked a lot. I give that a 7. Definitely a bit of a hidden gem. Would definitely call that a great game. I almost wanted... at first I wanted to rank it lower when I was first playing, but the more I played it, the more I liked it. And I got up to giving it... But I don't think it can go too much higher than a 7 now. As much as I did like it. I would like other people to play it, but... Yeah, I don't know. It still does have... I mean, I've sort of... Like, the biggest problem with it is just the low inventory space you have, combined with the fact that there's so many items that are mandatory that by the end of the game, you, like, basically only have, like, one free spot for anything, which makes things really awkward. But still, it's still a cool game. I don't know, 7.2. I guess I would even put it above Ghosts and Goblins. 7.2, maybe. And then Metroid. Metroid is a 9, I'm sure. I'm sure I gave Metroid a 9. Of course, that one should be very high. Let's see, 9. Phenomenal game. Amazing game. Is it a masterpiece? It's almost a masterpiece. Well, oh, that should be on my best of. My best love list. Let's see where that is. Where did I put Metroid in here? It should be somewhere between 9.5 and 9. Metroid. There's Metroid 2. I guess I rated Metroid 2 higher. That makes sense. Metroid 1. 9.08. Okay. I could be down with that. So below Super Mario Brothers? I guess that does make sense. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright, 136, Musashi no Ken. I think I gave that like a 3 or a 4. That was the sword fighting game. Musashi no Boken. Oh, that's right. It should be called Musashi no Boken. This is wrong. Well, this guy. I give it a 3, but it's like it's a 3.4 or something now. It's a high 3. It almost is mediocre. Just the controls are really weird. Wow, I've got a lot of high 3s. Too many. Let's see. Should it be above these games? Yeah, maybe it should, so let's put it at a 3.4. Right around B-Wing's level. Hokuto no Ken, Person no Star. I think I gave that probably also a 3. You know what? That's gonna have to be it for today. I'm gonna have to stop. We got up to 136. So we did the first 2/3, and at some point I'll come back and do the rest of these for the special. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys later. Good night. Or good day.